Hello. You know what's funny is I've been talking to the whole world, except I've only been talking to Twitch apparently. Hey, Twitch, how you doing? Well, hello. Okay, so everyone got the memo on that. Premise just heard what I was talking about, and I was talking to you guys in chat for a little while, but I forgot to hit the go live button, so only Twitch saw part of this. So I'm so sorry about that. You're probably been looking at a blank screen. How's everyone doing tonight? So we have a new feature that I was telling, well, I was telling you, but then Twitch was the only one available or with me. So our mods have a new feature where whenever I get distracted, and you want to get my attention, now my mods can do exclamation point, bell, space, and then whatever you want to say. And then Premise actually tried it out, and they rang a bell next to me and then put a notice on the screen. So that worked out perfectly. So in YouTube mods, if you want to go ahead and give that a try to make sure that works, there you go. That worked perfectly. So that way I know if, yes, it works perfectly. So we are being able to get my attention when we need to. And the other thing is I have all of our alerts working now. So YouTube alerts, if you subscribe or follow or become a member, it will automatically show on the screen. Same with Twitch. So that way we have all that set up. Yeah, so I think that is good. So how's everyone doing? Montgomery, I actually went and bought pizza right before I started the stream. That way, because I was like, I'm going to try his idea. You know what? I actually feel a little sleepy from this pizza. I was already sleepy, but you know how that heavy dough. But I did have a smoothie with it, so that way I had enough, vegetables to go with it. So. Hello from Canada. You guys want to go ahead and shout out where you are from, and I'll go ahead and name all that stuff. We got South Africa. Notable unknown needs a short killer notification. Yeah, yeah, it'd be a really loud noise. Yeah, food coma, pretty much. Easy pizza, sleepy pizza. So we're at Havenville, Massachusetts, Phoenix, Arizona, Idaho, and Princeton, Texas, New Zealand, Mount Vermont, Texas, North Carolina. We got Brazil, England, Canada, Ontario, Canada. You were talking about the 7750 from last week too? No, this is a different one from last week. I mean, or from this week at least. Unless I kept the same model in there. I need to look and see. 7750. No, it's a 7750. Hello from France, South Korea, Seattle, Washington. The UK, come on, Quebec, Phoenix, got UK, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Thailand, Washington, Portugal. So we got a lot of places here. Switzerland, man. Well, how's everyone doing? Another week, Wednesday, 6 o'clock for me. I just got off, working 11 hours or so, and just went and grabbed a bite, came back. Now we're going to do our 3-hour stream. Tonight we have 3 different laptops. We have the vote going on Twitch, and we have it going on YouTube. It looks like, we have one of our people are in chat, okay? It's the Alienware 17R3 is in chat. It has the symptoms of a failing CPU. The machine actually works. His notes talks about like some charging issue. I actually took a quick look at it earlier, and I was like, I think this is a GPU failure. I gave him a call, and he is a fan of the channel, and he said he watches the live streams. I said, hey, I'll put it in the list. And it looks like the the X15 R2, which actually has a power rail failure, is what won on Twitch. And so we're looking at the other two being the GPU failure of the person who's in chat. And then the 7750, which is a not charging, this is like a surge or something, I think. He said that there was a lightning strike possibly. The charger's not recognized. I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure, but yeah, everyone vote. Vote. And I'm going to give it a few more minutes for YouTube, but it looks like, the person who's in chat, the 17R3 is the one winning. And then we still got to figure out how we're going to do this electoral college thing. I think hopefully someone can come up with a good voting system on this, because we are voting from 2 different areas, Twitch and YouTube together. But Twitch obviously doesn't have as many followers, you know, because we have 273 so far on YouTube and only 21. It's like 10%. And favorite bourbon brand, we should do a favorite bourbon brand poll. Yeah, that'd be a good one. So lightning strikes are not nice for electronics. Yes, I'm actually still dealing with the wrath of the lightning strike one from a couple weeks ago. Or no, it shipped out yesterday finally. But it was like, basically we had a burnt board, a junction board. It came through the network port. We changed out the junction board or the daughter board, and then the machine still didn't come on. I found that it was a power rail failure on one of the 3.3 volt power rails, so I got that changed out. The machine coming on, and then I still had weird issues like, hey, thanks for the follow, Sting. Issues where the power button didn't work, and the trackpad didn't work, and then the screen didn't work in Windows because it was like in headless mode. And no matter what I did, I changed out the EC chip, did all the firmware, I traced it all back. It's still, the power button did not do anything. I could actually trigger it on using different keystrokes, but I could not ever turn it on or turn it off with the power button. It's really strange. Even changing out all that component. So customer's just gonna use it as a desktop and hook everything to it because the motherboard's like a $1,200 motherboard or something crazy. So I still need to buy me a bourbon button. I know, I've been kind of busy with trying to get all these alerts set up because that's a pain in the butt to try to get all this stuff connected. Yes, yeah, the poll already timed out on Twitch, so we're just kind of waiting. But I think I'm going to go ahead and end the poll on YouTube also. And so we got to figure out now. We have two systems now left. Well, you know, one. Hey, John, thank you for the $20 donation for some bourbon. And look at that, that super chat showed up. It actually worked. Yes, I will be buying some bourbon with that. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So we have those two systems. So it's Twitch one, and it was the X17 R2 or X15 R2 power out failure, and the 17R3 one on YouTube. What do we do about that? How do we figure this out? Do we have any suggestions? We did Twitches last week, and then we had been doing YouTube. We need an electoral college on this, I'm telling you. But I think I don't know. Either one's gonna be fine with me. So I don't know what I should do on that. I think we're gonna go with YouTube for right now, and then we'll go to Twitch afterwards. I don't think it will take too long. We'll do both of them tonight, I promise. Okay, how's that? Combine the poll's results, yeah. That could work. The poll, but the poll only had like 6 votes or something on Twitch or something, or the poll that won only had 6 votes on Twitch. So, all right. So X17R2 won here. Do this second. So you think that's all right to just do it second? I will do it. We'll just do it second. So, and you like my shirt? It's delicious, right? Take a bite out of it, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do the 17R3. Wait, 15R2. Oh, we're doing the 15R2, right? Someone put it on the screen as 15R2. I guess that's what we're doing. Hey, the motherboard's already taken out. That will make it a lot easier. I didn't work on this, but I had another tech on it. So here, let's just do this one since it's already out. All right. I didn't realize that my other tech had already worked on it. All right, is this the right one? Yep. So it's kind of hard to show you the symptom, I guess, without me putting it back together, which is so much fun. You see this liquid metal on this, by the way? We love it. We love the liquid metal, right? So it's inside the dam still. It's all right. I'm just going to screw this back on. We can connect the power button and try to see if we can see the symptom, and then we'll try to solve the symptom. Because that's the thing is, like, whenever I leave whenever my tech leaves it taken apart like this, it's kind of hard to look at it myself. Whenever, like, he'll give it back to me, I'll end up putting it back together anyway, and then testing it. And it's like, okay, so Let me grab the screw bundle. And I guess we want your customer's notes, right? That's what you like to show. So all they say is this power, flashing code, 5 blue, 3 red. So it's actually 3 red, 5 blue. That's a power rail failure if you look up that code. Oh no, liquid metal already. Yeah, I know, liquid metal sucks. Sucks, man. But we're going to be careful with it. Yes, liquid metal sucks worse than bed bugs. Good point. I never did that comparison before. Let's do this one instead. Liquid metal. Laptop somewhat. Yeah, it's a gluten for punishment. Yeah, so these machines are shipped with liquid metal. It's not like the customer put it on there. They have a dam. It wasn't leaking. So I think what happened is when he looked at this, he saw power rail failure, and he said, oh, I bet the liquid metal is leaking. So he took it apart, pulled the heatsink off to check it. And usually you would just like put the heatsink back on so it doesn't leak everywhere, but I don't know. And you voted for the Precision 7750. Are you doing that one? Well, we'll do all 3 of them if we have time, but usually what we do is vote, and then whatever one wins, we do that one first, and then we do the next one second, and the next one third. So I was actually going to do the 17R3, but this one was what I grabbed. Yeah, unless I'm in bed. Good point. I usually try to shoot for a 3-hour stream on this day because I've already been here. I usually am here for about 14 hours at that point. And so I get kind of sleepy. I get delirious. You know, bed bugs, do they smell like, because when I was working on that one system and it smelled like urine, I thought that was just like a cat peed on it and then there was bed bugs, but do you think the bed bugs actually smell like urine? Or cat pee, or whatever? Did I put it wrong up there? Well, Dave, yeah, kind of. So Premise and I, we had a little conversation. We kind of did a little sidebar, and we talked about doing the X15 R2 second. But it's fine. It's okay. I grabbed it. We'll get there. It doesn't take me that long to put screws in here, just to tack it in here so we can see what it's doing. Power rail failures are kind of nice because usually I can find them pretty easily. But sometimes you can't. And sometimes you do this thing where you actually probe everywhere on the board and then you find it. Because sometimes it's not something that's easily or obviously shorted. Yeah, cat pee is the next level of odor, I can tell you. But I grew up in a house with a bunch of cats, and I knew exactly what that smell was. I think the computer maker should mention the type of thermal paste used. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting if they marked it down as a feature. Are we assuming it's a power rail failure, or is that the issue? So the customer's note says 3.5 error code, and if you look that up, so this is the X15 R2. If you look up X15 R2 light codes and then go down to the 3.5 error, that's power rail failure. So they said it, and then my tech looked at it, and he saw it, I guess, and then he took it apart thinking it was going to be liquid metal leaking. Because I told him, I was like, we've already had enough liquid metal videos. We don't need any more of those. So I was like, just take it apart. If it's liquid metal, take it apart and clean it and fix it. We don't need to film that. Yeah, we're going to do the 15R2 second. It's fine. We need an electoral college, though. We need to figure out a way to get all that kind of set up or pulled together. Maybe we should... I bet there's a company that can do one in a poll that works on both sites. That would be even better. So everyone works together as a team, because it seems that Twitch definitely has a different mindset than YouTube. You need a nice Nitro Acer Nitro screen, huh? I don't know. eBay probably. I don't know where to get that stuff. Okay. Damn it. You know what I forgot? The damn power button. Power button cable's right here. It's tucked underneath. There it is. Yeah, we'll figure out what this power rail failure is pretty quick and we'll move on. Okay. Now that I reassembled the whole machine just to figure it out. Okay, battery, I'm plugging in the battery. Screen's plugged in. We don't need that, it's a camera. All right. And we need my meter. Do we need an intro? Do we need an intro? New day, new laptop to repair. This time we have a Dell, Alienware X15 R2. And it's come in because it has a 3.5 error code. It's like a blinking blue and red on the power button there. So I'm assuming it's a dead power rail. Let's figure it out. Whatever. However that goes. Okay, so keep an eye on the power meter. We just want to see what current's being drawn when I plug it in immediately. We want to pay attention. I plugged in the charger, went to 0.07, 0.09, 0.06. And why? Why would it go to that? So this machine does not power on its own. When you plug it in, it should not power on, okay? It doesn't have one of those functions where it's like a CMOS reset. And so what this thing should actually do is maybe it will jump to 0.1 for a second, but it should jump down to 0.02 and sit there. And look, now it's at 4.9 amps, 100 watts. But I'm assuming that's battery charging, so I'm not super concerned, but why is it charging at 100 watts? That's crazy. That's some fast charging, man. That thing's fast. Yeah. Whew. Okay, so we're at 5 amps. We're at 100 watts. I haven't even touched the power button yet. Okay, we'll press the power button. It should stop charging. It should drop down. There we go. It actually should stop charging when I press the power button, but it didn't. And we'll keep an eye on this. Florence, you love the videos. Thank you. We'll keep an eye on that power button right there. What we're looking for is we're going to see if it does do that 3.5 error, 3 blue, 5 red. And if it does do that, then we're going to pull the board out, which we already put it back in, and we'll find that bad power rail. It just takes a little while to get there. I may end up unplugging the battery because the battery's tricking us with how much current's being pulled, so I'm going to unplug that. Okay, battery's unplugged. Now we can actually see what the laptop's pulling. 0.18. So the laptop's not really coming on, right? So we'll try it again. See, it's sitting at 0.12, 140 milliamps. What the heck? All right, we're gonna let it sit here. It's probably trying to start up a power supply and having issues. Okay, Darren says it's fixed. Oh no, Bluebird says it's fixed. Darren says, wow. Yes, I need a new day, new laptop to repair. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's a good point. I need to make a shirt like that. I have a whole list of shirts I'm going to make, and I haven't sat down to do it, so I need to get on that. And something's wrong with my phone system, and my phones are ringing after we close, which is really strange. So you're going to hear phones ringing in the background, and I don't know how to make them stop. So I need to fix that. We had an update on our phone system. This is taking a long time to get that 3.5. It should come any moment now. We can just keep chatting though. What kind of flickering? Oh, you're talking to somebody else. How much is just an Alienware power button? So each model is going to be a little different. So I guess between like $7 to $20, depending upon what model. John, you're asking if that's an AI voice. Which one are we talking about? My new day, new laptop to repair? Why? Now that's my fake announcer voice. There we go. We got it. We got it. All right, so we can count it. See if it's dark enough here. So no, I don't use any AI voices, period. Delirious shirt. Yeah, I should do a delirious shirt. I don't know what the icon would look like though. I took a bite out of my icon, but I don't know what I would do for the delirious shirt. Maybe just have me like sleepy, laying on a desk or something. My hair all standing up. Okay, so we got a 3.5 error. It took all that just to put it back together. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Joe, for that. I broke another laptop. So we'll take it apart and find this 3.5. Nathan's voice has a text message. Yes. So I got it unplugged here. I'll pull the motherboard back out. What we're going to do now, when we have a missing power rail like that, we want to figure out which power rail is not coming up, but that doesn't really, it's not as easy as that, because if you notice how much current was being pulled from the charger, I guess we can zoom it back out. Notice how much current was being pulled from the charger. It wasn't actually turning on all the power rails anyway, so it's kind of hard to just say, oh, that one's missing. So in general, what I like to do on this type of situation, physical inspection, number one, and then number two is measure and try to find a shorted power rail. That's most of the time what's going to happen. And then third, you'll sometimes have a power rail that's just not coming on, and you'll have like the DC to DC buck boost converter chip is getting like its voltage in, it's getting its enable and all that stuff, but it's not coming on. So that would be like usually the least common. So the most common will be physical issue or a shorted power rail. And most of the time, it's not, you're not going to be able to see it, I guess, the issue. Thanks for the follow, everyone. I want to thank everyone. Apparently, I started memberships a few weeks ago on the YouTube and Twitch, and I'm just like amazed that how many people have joined the membership, or the donor board members. You know, I have a lower tier, which is like the coolest fans. And I got quite a few people, and I figured people would join that one. But the donor board members, thank you so much. That is incredible that you guys are willing to support the work I'm doing here in my videos and stuff like that, because this is not easy. And apparently everyone understands that, so I appreciate all that. Oh, secret screw I put in. I can't find it. Steve, thanks for the subscription. Man, that's awesome. Another subscriber. You've been watching for 3 months now. Wow. It's hard to think that I only started this doing these long form videos in January, I think, or maybe it was right after Christmas last year, is doing the long form videos. And whenever I posted the first one, I kind of expected just to not get very many views at all. Because I've been doing the shorts, and the shorts have been doing well. I was able to get some millions of views on some of them. But the longs, I didn't think that in a million years it would do well, and it's crazy. They took off. They do better than the shorts at this point, so thank you for that. So now I got to find the DC jack, and I don't think I have one in my bag of DC jacks. No, don't have one, so I got to steal his. Joe says Nathan equals the greatest technician in the world. That's so funny. Well, I don't think so, but thank you so much. David just subscribed. Thank you so much. All right, we have our DC jack now, and we need a power button too. Let's do that. This board doesn't have a built-on power button, so I'm just going to steal the power button off of here. You've been watching the videos way before I started doing the live streams. Well, that's awesome. And I hope everyone's appreciating. I know a lot of you guys are watching the live streams. I've been talking to people who are calling in, and some of them don't know I do the live streams, and so I've been letting them know, hey, join in. You know, you can watch it, and if your laptop is on there, we can fix it live, things like that. So it's pretty cool. Looks like an easy burrito. Yeah, we'll hope. This is stuck on here. I need some heat. Someone linked your channel randomly in IRC. Interesting. And you got hooked. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I know I have all those like tutorials we've been doing for years, and I know that I was almost going to pull those off and put them on a different channel, but might as well have them all together. R2 did get enough votes, and we will be doing it. Or 17R3. I think it's an R3, yes. But I was going to do this one real quick. Oh my gosh. See, this is whenever y'all are supposed to say, I forgot these missing screws right here. There's 2 screws I didn't see, and I'm like sitting here trying to pry this thing out of here. I'm going to put these other screws in so I don't lose them. These things are microscopic. You don't own any Dells, but you just love the way my thought process. Wow, thank you. I inspired you to try their hand in board repair. Well, how did it go? I don't want to lose any screws. Okay, so we have a power button, we have a DC jack. We'll make our way through this as quick as we can because we have other laptops to fix. All right, so first plan of action, like I said, we want to see if we can identify any physical damage on the board. So we can do a physical inspection, which is just looking around the board. And so let's get under the microscope. And so we just kind of do a little quick sweep. We want to look for anything that's going to be cracked or burnt, okay? So commonly we're going to have a crack across one of these capacitors. Capacitors are used for filtering, and one side will be hooked to ground, one side will be hooked to the positive. And if it shorts out or cracks, it will become a wire straight to ground, so it shorts that power to ground, so it depends on where it's hooked to. A lot of these are going to be 19 volts there, 3.3. We're probably looking for something that's going to be on one of the lower power rails. I've even seen it be on like the SSD power rail. You know what's funny is like, here's a fuse right here. Rarely, I think I've only replaced like 3 fuses ever in my career. So there's a fuse right there. You can see the F on it. Doesn't happen very often. I wish they would put fuses in more places, but maybe they would blow too often. So instead they have like resistors act as fuses or MOSFETs. So here's our BIOS chip, here's our EC chip. This thing, you've seen me reprogram this EC chip numerous times. I've also had to reprogram the BIOS chip on this model. EC chip a little more often, but... And the EC chip is an embedded controller. That's what actually starts up the motherboard. This is going to be the back side of the 3 volt and 5 volt power rails, and a lot of times we'll have issues over here. Here's the main input power rails. So we have the 19 volts from the charger, 20 volts comes through here, comes through this one, then goes through here. And then this area is going to be in charge of charging, and then this is going to send it over to the main part of the board. Oh, thanks. A new subscriber, Major. Thank you. Let's see. So, and then we've talked about this keyboard issue. On these X15s and X17s, this is going to be the component you're going to be changing out if we have a keyboard issue. This is only like if the machine works, if the keyboard works outside of Windows, but when you're in Windows it doesn't work and then it has a unknown USB descriptor, that's what you're going to change out. See how small it is though? There's my finger. Very tiny, very tiny. Tier 1 for 3 months, incredible. All right, most of this is heatsink on this side, but we're going to start out by just kind of looking around and what we can see. And then we're going to measure these power rails, and then if we have to, we'll take the heatsink off. And look at that. Physical inspection wins again. Easy burrito. So what is this in charge of? I don't know. I have no clue, but this does not look good. We have some burnt stuff, but at least the board is not burnt. I don't see any burnt traces. This component, what is that? I don't, it's just charred to death. And then this has something going on here. Another subscriber, thank you. Look at that. That's crazy. So it's almost like a hole. Let's get close and personal with that. Yeah. What is that white stuff? That's crazy. Let the smoke out. Yeah, I'm sure. Ooh, should I do the smell test? You know, if I sniff too close, I might sniff up some of this white stuff. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So let's figure out what this chip is right here. And yeah, is it liquid damage? No, I don't think it is. So you can see that kind of discolored area around there. A lot of times what I'll see is it's almost like flux is being burned off whenever chips get really hot like that, and kind of pushes out that type of like difference in color, or almost looks like a liquid. But here, we'll clean it with a cotton swab. Wow, another Prime subscriber, thank you. Look at that. So it just looks like a damage. So the hype train is starting. Okay, let me grab another motherboard so we can actually pull some parts off of this. So let me go grab those. Take a look here. And here we go. X15s. Ugh. Well, the problem is I don't have any that are donor board ready. Maybe this one will work. All right. So I have a couple here that are so these are both X15s, but these aren't necessarily bad. Well, this is missing a 3-volt or 5-volt power rail. That's what this one says. This one says GPU problems. So usually whenever I have things like this, I just kind of set them off to the side, and I might mess with them later at some point. But we can at least identify what the chip is supposed to be. And then this board right here is a 17-inch version of the same machine, but it might have the same chips on it that we could steal. So we're going to look down in here and see if we can identify which part it is. So we'll start with this one. What kind of chip is that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Hayes, thanks for the follow. Okay. We're trying to match this up. Oh, Z1. You know what? I think Z1, I think that's if I'm not mistaken, I think this is for the SSD. I think. Maybe someone could figure that out for me. I don't know. Read that part. Read the numbers. John, we will get on that right now, and then you guys will tell me all about it. EM. This is when we need the anti-glare. Okay. EM5209. All right. Y'all got that written down? Yeah. Nigel, motherboards can be very expensive to buy only because they include GPUs, CPUs also. So you're not just buying the motherboard. All right, so that's that chip. And then the other one is something. But I'll tell you what. We have this board here. I don't care. We could steal parts off of it if we want. I'm fine with that. And then I can deal with sourcing parts for this board later, because that actually might be the quickest thing. But let's look at this other donor board. And maybe I have something similar, if I can find the same area. See if we have something that is the same on here. What was the chip number again? Is that it right? No. I was thinking that was it. How many legs is it? 14? EM, what'd you figure out what it was? EM5209. First time chatter, welcome Richard. 500 bits, thank you. Dual channel low resistance load switch. I wonder what that's used for. I was thinking it's, because I'm pretty sure that this may be for the SSD, but I could be completely off base. I mean, we are near a lot of different things, so I don't know. I don't say that I know all that stuff. That's not kind of, I'm more just kind of a logical, let's figure this thing out, let's get the chips replaced, so I definitely am not. Richard, thanks for the subscription, buddy. All right, I took a quick glance over this. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's. I'm going to pull it off the GPU problem board, and then we'll deal with it later. I'll deal with finding the correct chips later. So for that, so I'm going to pull both of these off. But let's measure in this area. I want to see if we do have a short. We should obviously have a short, right? And I'm thinking that we should replace both of these, right? Don't you think we should replace this one too, or just this one? I don't know. I'm thinking both, but it's probably just this chip because that's what exploded. Dual channel low resistance load switch, yeah. Yeah, both is what I was thinking, but after looking at this other one too, I'm like, it's kind of the correct color, right? That thing, I mean, it looks like a resistor or something, right? Or a shunt. Yeah, it's like a shunt anyway, so I think it's the shunt probably just got hot. It looks about the same. So I think we're fine. Just, yeah, UZ1. I think it's just that chip anyway, but let's measure around this area to see if we have a short. So we have a short here. We have 43 ohms on this side. We have 0 on that side, so that might be ground on this side. And then what about this one? Nothing. Okay, what about this pin, this output right here? Okay, so this is short of the ground right here. And then this is shorted to ground, shorted to ground. Yeah, so let's pull that guy off. Let's pull him off. As the color is affected, maybe the chip is damaged. Well, like I said, this is like a shunt, I think, so it's just like a very low resistance or resistor, basically. See, they look the same. I would say they look identical. They're like twins. See? So I think they're fine. Is it 9 millimeters? Which one? And pop goes the load switch. Bump, bump. Major, that's a good one. Pop goes the load switch. Filet with cheese. Use the thermal camera. Okay, let's use the thermal camera since we got it. Thermal. Go thermal. Execute. Where's my thermal button? Is this it? Thermal. Okay. Go thermal. Now. Let's plug in the charger just so we can go thermal. Okay. Here, I'll point it out for you. Right. Yar. Here, I'll put my tweezers right here. Okay. You see it? So that's where it is. Okay. Listo. Okay, powering it on. And look at that. It's getting on fuego. So it's hot. So thermal camera, we went thermal, man. We went thermal. We got a new member. Thank you. Enter server. Yeah, so that's hot. We can put some alcohol on there just to see it evaporate. You see, it's just kind of bubbling over in that hole right there. It's cauterized. That's why it's white. It's cauterized. It was like self-healing. It was trying to, like, all the platelets were going to, you know, save the blown hole in the chip. It's almost like the Terminator or the Metal Man or whatever in Terminator. So let's pull this thing off. Water could boil, yeah. Okay, pulling it off. Let's go. All right, so we're at 450C, 60% air. Hello, Alienware M15 R2 AMD. When you turn on blue screen of death, hypervisor error. Congratulations. You have a bad CPU. I've seen too many of those M15 R7s having this darn issue. So, Magic Man gifted some subs, or gifted a sub to Jetto. Thank you. So we got this heated up, and we're gonna go with my 213 tonight. A little milky white. Yeah, so sorry about that. M15 R7, if you're getting those blue screen of death, hypervisor errors, then it's going to be a bad CPU, so the motherboard needs to be replaced. So, oh, this thing is a little bit connected to the board. Okay, careful, careful. So we have some issues right there. There we go. And here's our cauterized chip. There she blows. Or there she blew. Oh my goodness. No mo lotion, Flux. Yeah, Northwest Repair, he did a video yesterday and he actually tested it out, or the day before yesterday. He tested it out, he actually enjoyed it. So, I don't know. He said it was good. So maybe I should give it another go. He said it smelled fine too. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to the smell of this stuff. This stuff smells so much better. Keep drinking coffee and water. Yeah, I only had a couple sips of this. Well, you know what's funny is every time I come home from doing this work all day, soldering and doing all this stuff, my kids will always say, "Oh, you smell like smoke," because of the smoke from all the solder and stuff. But whenever I came home after I used his Flux, they did not complain about me smelling like smoke. So, it's a feature. It's a feature. Bourbon scented Flux. Yes, I want some bourbon scented Flux. That would be good. All right, so I'm just going to tin this up right here with some fresh soda and just see what we're working with. Clean it up. Yeah, I know he only enjoyed it for reballing, so I'm actually going to try it when I reball and see if that works. It did do that boiling thing, which I thought was kind of crazy whenever he was trying to heat the pull chips off. I just want to look underneath this a little bit. Here, I'll have to get a little more overhead. What I want to look at is... Can we see that okay? I just want to look here. Some junk there. So this pad, this right here, looks like it's connected together, I think. Or is it? Can't tell. Okay, so this is ground. This is its own thing. That's its own thing. Okay, and it looks fine. And I just want to make sure that we're not shorted to ground still after we took that off, which we shouldn't be. That's still saying it's shorted to ground. Let's measure on our other board. Let's measure on the other board, see? Gotta turn this noise off, though. Okay, so it's not supposed to be shorted right here. So it's shorted on the other board. So this probably means that we have something else shorted. Stay with me on this. We have something else shorted, and then when that thing's shorted out, it caused that chip to blow up. Sound probable? I think so. I think it sounds very probable. But I'm just making it up as I go along, so I don't really know. So we'll go back and I'll measure one more time so you can see what I'm talking about. So on our test board, this was not shorted, and we have it shorted basically to 0. Let's see if I can hold the grounds good. Yeah. So 0.1 is my 0. So we're going to have to inject voltage right here, and then we'll monitor under the thermal camera and see if we can figure it out. So easy burrito is starting to become less easy burrito. So we'll go short killer this time. And we'll put as much voltage in as possible, right? No, that's not how we do it. We put as low voltage in there as possible. I always like to start with 0.5 volt or somewhere around there, just so we can kind of figure out what we're working with, and then we can move up from there. So we're on the thermal camera, and I think I'm going to order one of those P3s thermal cameras and check that out. Yeah, untwist this camera. The cable's all twisted. I'm going to try out one of those P3s. I bought one of the P2s and I returned it pretty quickly because it was such a wide angle and I couldn't really mount it right on my camera. I think Soren just bought one of the P3s and he mounted it to his camera like I do, and he said it worked out pretty good, so that would be great if I could do the same thing. Because I like the free hands. Look, mommy, no hands. Yeah, it's a good choice of the P3. The main issue I have is like this one has 2 cameras on it. That's what I like about this thermal camera, because it has 2 cameras, so it has a real camera and it superimposes it on the other one. Definitely not as detailed, but... Ooh, where's it getting hot? See, and I guess if I had the P3, it would tell me, because I can't see. It's just a big blob, right? And, but somewhere up there. Somewhere over here. So maybe the P3 would be better for that part, because I just come over here after that and I'm gonna go, okay, it's over here. And then I just put some alcohol in it. So it was up here somewhere. It might have been that guy. I don't know. So let's try that. Just put some alcohol on there. Ah, we found it. Yar, we found it. Okay. Andre just subscribed too, thank you. Do we need to go wider? Does everyone see it? I'm gonna flood the whole area, and then I want everyone to really look. I'm not gonna put it in the middle of the shot either. I'm not gonna kind of give you, but I saw it already. Here, let me get a lot on here. Here, I'm gonna spray it. I'm just gonna fill the whole thing up. Okay, so we got a lot of alcohol in there. So what we're looking for now is we're gonna look for the displacement of the alcohol. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more time. We got a new member, thank you. Andre again. Do you see where it is? Gary. Bad buffering. DIY Dave, no buffering, no buffering. Darren, no? Do you see the, here, I'm gonna just tap it. Okay, so do you see the alcohol kind of dancing when I do this? Top cap, thank you. Yeah, so there's 2 caps there. Do you see it dancing? Darren, no? Okay, here. We're gonna go in closer, and so this is what we're looking for. And I'm gonna just crank our juice up because I know that we got it. So we are going crazy town. We're up to almost, here we'll go up to a whole gigawatt. 1.21 gigawatts, you ready? That thing's gonna explode. 3, 2, 1. Did you see it that time? Ha ha ha! 1.21 gigawatts! Yep, okay. Did everyone kind of get the picture of what we're looking for? So I started low voltage. The idea with this is we're sending the voltage wherever this is shorted to, right? So this chip was trying to power this shunt, or whatever it is, I don't know how it works. It's going through there, and it was struggling and ended up exploding. Well, once we took that off, it still was shorted, right? So then we injected voltage here. We didn't know exactly where it was on here. Our thermal camera just told me it was somewhere around here. And then we put the alcohol in here, and we started seeing it jump right around here. See all the alcohol displaced right off of that? And so it's this guy right here that's shorted. And so it's shorted from its positive power rail to the ground like a wire. And so literally I could just break this chip off of here and then the board's fixed. I mean, I would have to put the other chip back on. But we're going to remove it. We'll put a new one on. And then we'll replace that other chip. And I'll say it. And then we'll move on to the next machine. So let's get this removed. But did everyone see that, how I kind of found that without, like, you really don't even need the thermal camera for that, but if you didn't have the thermal camera, then you would have to use higher voltage, which we ended up doing anyway. You could put the back of your hand down on the board to kind of find where it's getting warm, and then you can put alcohol down to kind of hone in on it. Thermal cameras do help, for sure, to kind of get you close at least. So. But cause and effect. So what caused that chip to blow up? This capacitor. And what caused this capacitor to blow up? Heat, probably. You gotta try bourbon for science. I don't know if I can drink on stream. I can't do it. Can't do it. There we go. So this guy's off of here. Let's examine him or her or shim. So I'm going to flip it over. There it is. So I flipped it over. So we couldn't see from the top. Sometimes you can, but now you can see it. Can you see the crack? So there's a crack in this. So now this is basically a wire. It's connecting this to that. And so now if we took this off of here, we're going to have our short. It's going to be gone at this point. So if we come back over here, we should be able to measure this and it's good. The short is gone. So we're good to go on that. The temperature I use is 450 degrees C with 60% air. That's the most common go-to. I'll sometimes go down to 400 for some things, and then 300. 300 you really can't solder much unless you have a preheater. Because these boards are thick. Like if I had a thinner board, then maybe you could do a lower temperature like that. But 450 with 60% air is usually what I do. I keep seeing my mic looking like it's clipping. Is my audio sound okay? Do I need to turn it down a little bit? Because I feel like it might be clipping. I'm going to adjust that real quick just in case. I turned down my audio just a little bit, so now it's not clipping over and over again. Is that okay? I'm good? Okay. I just don't, I hate to have bad audio. You know what? I'm looking at the wrong one. That's funny. This was my backup mic that keeps clicking. Okay, I'll turn the audio back up. All right, false alarm. And just to warn you, this camera keeps overheating and shutting off. And this one actually overheated and shut off earlier too, my overhead. So I don't know what's up with that. I have fans on the back of them. I have all sorts of stuff. Anyway, I'll quit chatting here. Quit sidebarring. So we're going to put on the new resistor. We'll put that new chip on. We'll assemble real quick. Make sure we get our Alienware screen. And then we'll move on to the next machine. So let's grab this guy off of here. I'm just going to grab the same one. He's right here. He's right here ready to be taken. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's, you know, I don't like to genderize my capacitors that much. Them. Yeah, this capacitor is a they, them. Yeah, 14 hours from now I get a break. So I'm going to fix every computer I have in the shop. I think there's 9. There's 9 in the queue right next to me to work on. And there's about 50 in the queue for my other tech to kind of look at first before it gets to me. So, all right, here we go. Just a happy little capacitor. So I'm just going to heat this until I see it get shiny. And right as I see the solder get shiny, then I'll set it down. Set it down. And then we'll heat it up one more time. And there we go. So that one's good. And then I need to get the other chip. It's a non-binary capacitor. Well, there's only two sides to them. And they could short out really easy. Well, you know what? If all this stuff is way too small for me too. I use the this microscope every single day, and without that, I would not be able to do anything. Half the time, I'm like putting glasses on just to see what I'm looking at in front of me. So, microscope is a game changer. So we pull this chip off. I'm gonna heat this up again. Right as we see this gets shiny, we'll set it down. And when you're doing these types of chips, I don't really care what it looks like. I'm just going to tack it down. There you go. It's beautiful. Beautiful. No, not really. So you just tack it down, just get it in the right place. Now we're going to add our flux, and then we'll heat it up. And you'll see it like kind of set where it wants to go after that. There we go. Perfect. All right, and then for any of these extra little solder balls, we'll just pick it up with the soldering iron. We got buffering going on. Oh, I see some drop frames. Oh, you bastard. So we have a little bit of drop frames tonight. I don't know what's going on with that. It's not very many. It's 1%. So if you are seeing a little bit of buffering, it doesn't look like it's that bad. So hopefully it should be okay. Okay, so that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. What do we got to do next before we put it back together to test? There's something I'm missing. Something I'm missing. You got to clean it. Come on, people. You got to clean it. We should just leave it a wreck. Got to leave it a wreck. So, alcohol, isopropyl, my old toothbrush. And then this is just a chem wipe. And you just kind of rotate it through like this, and then that will pick up all the flux instead of just smearing it around. And there you go. We have all of our flux right there, and the board is clean. Pretty clean. Pretty clean. I had someone ask why I don't put it through the ultrasonic cleaner on every single one. I'm like, well, you know how much work it is to send it through an ultrasonic cleaner? It's a lot of work, because you have to disassemble the entire board, take every sticker off, every mount, every cage, everything like that. And then you have to preheat the thing and make sure it's clean and all that. So it's a lot of work just to clean one area. So I only do the ultrasonic cleaner for my, and if it has liquid metal, it's another whole story. I only do this for the liquid spills. So in general, unless the board looks really crazily bad. But let's reassemble this. And we should be good. And while I'm screwing, you guys can ask me some questions if you want. While I'm screwing. First, visual inspection. Big dog, I did do visual inspection first. That's how we won. But clean up is what we need to do, was what the question I was asking. Thanks for the follow, Mama. You're currently cloning a 6.4 on behalf of your neighbor. And is it one of those Bigfoots? Those big giant ones? 6.4 gig, that's crazy. Remember those Bigfoots? Who's old enough to know what a Bigfoot is in hard drive storage? It's not SSD. It's an HDD storage. Anybody? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was this time when hard drives, hard disk drives, so mechanical drives, they were getting bigger in size, like storage size, and so you could get like a 1 gig, and that was huge, and then you get like a 2 gig. But then they had this thing that was like a 6.4 gig, and it was super cheap, but it wasn't a 3.5-inch drive that you would put a regular, like now desktops use 2.5-inch drives, which are laptop size, but But back in the day, you'd use a 3.5-inch drive. Well, this thing was a 4.5-inch drive. I think that's what it was. They call it a Bigfoot. So it was the size of a CD-ROM. The size of a CD-ROM, yes. Something like, it was like in 1996 to 98, somewhere around there. It was crazy. But they were cheap. So you could get 6.4 gigs for, I think, $100, which was like such a good price. And so anybody who was upgrading was like putting a Bigfoot in one of their CD-ROM trays. And they were like, yeah, run my Windows 98 or ME or whatever you're running. So like, I can't even see the screw at the tip of my screwdriver. It's like so tiny. My eyes are so bad. You had 80 Raider Shaft 8-inch floppies. Not a foot, it's huge. Oh, 5.25, thank you. Yes, 5.25. I don't know why I had 4.5 in my head. I think I said 5.25 at first and then my brain blanked after that. Bigfoot, yeah. The size of the Bigfoot. Is it fixed? Yes, it was. So it like, a lot of times you would have a desktop tower that would have 3 CD-ROM bays, and you'd have 2 CD burners in there so you could burn discs back to back, and then you would have that extra one that you would stick your hard drive in, and it would be behind it a blank. So it doesn't look like there's anything there, but you would have it stored in there. You're using a 22 terabyte 3.5-inch Western Digital. Red Plus. Wow. Was that cheap? How expensive was one of those? That's a single drive. A single point of failure, right? That's not an array or anything? $5.25, lots of storage, yeah. You still have 5.25 discs sitting on your desk, wow. Well, yeah, the other day I had to pull out a floppy drive, like a 3.5-inch floppy drive, but it was like somebody had brought in something that needed to read that, and I was like, well, I keep a USB floppy drive around in case somebody comes in for that exact reason. So I had to pull it out and show my young tech who'd never even used one in his life, like how to use it. And he's like, what's that noise it's making? No, yeah, I don't think he said that, but... your first computer was 30 megs. Whoa. Yeah, that's... I think my first computer... I didn't get a computer until I was like in the late 90s, basically, but... Airports still use 5.25 discs for backup? What? Yeah, and airplanes are going to fall out of the sky. Come on. I don't believe that. You have about 50 complete PCs, 286, 386, 486, a P1, a P2, which has a slot A, not a slot 1, a slot 1 P2, that's what you're talking about, right? And a P3, a P4, Core 2 Duo, and a Duo, it went off the page, and then a dual core. Nice, I like that. That's a cool collection. I like that. And they're all working? You know what I should do is pull out all those parts from like those older machines to look at those, because I have a bunch of those still. I still have Pentium 1 chips and Pentium 2 chips and Pentium 3 chips and Pentium 4 chips that are for laptops. And so some of those were like cards that hooked into the computer. And there's this one model of Dell that it was notorious for not turning on or not posting, and then you could just like hit the keyboard. I call it the Fonz. Fonz from Happy Days. You hit it like that, and it would like lodge the CPU back into place, and it would turn on after that. So I've had people call me and say, hey, my machine's not coming on, this model. I was like, oh, okay. I want you to take your fist, close your fingers up, and just hit between the G and the H on your keyboard, and then they're like, hey, it turned on. Pentium MMX, yeah. You know, I have a coaster in my office that I made out of 4 Pentium 3's CPU dies that I put in like a little tray, and then that's my coaster. I had an interesting repair today, or not me, my tech did, and he actually figured it out, and I probably wanted to figure this one out because my brain wasn't thinking about it this way. He was working on a machine, it's a Area 51 R1, so that's the laptop that has 2 chargers, if you've seen it, where it takes 2 chargers in the back. It has a desktop CPU in it, and it has 4 memory slots. So it's basically like a mobile desktop. Well, the laptop, when you could put memory in 2 of the slots, and the machine would turn on and work fine. But if you put memory in the other 2 slots, the machine would not work, and it would say that there's no memory installed. And so he was having issues trying to figure out, like, why the other 2 slots weren't working. And he had a thought, experiment that he was like, okay, well, I think that the CPU must not be connected to one of the RAM lanes. And so he went and took it apart, pulled the CPU out, which is modular, put it back in, or cleaned all the contacts, put it back in, and everything's fixed. So that was actually a pretty cool thing I hadn't seen before. What's the metal frame on the motherboard with 4 arms sticking out? Is that a joke? The metal frame, 4 arms sticking out. We're talking about this thing right here? We're talking about this thing? This thing? Roger? Roger? This is the back of the CPU. That's the back of the GPU. And then this is a mount where it actually screws in. And so it has to hold the heatsink on. So that's actually the screw mount where the screws go through. Okay, we are ready for the to figure out if this works. Did we have a vote to figure out if this is going to work or not? Their vote? Nope. While I was putting it together, we should have been voting. So who thinks this thing's going to post? Raise your hand. Or emote. Post some emotes. Okay. So I'm going to turn it on like this. Okay, will it work? Okay, cast your votes real quick. I won't turn it on yet. We'll wait. Oh, Gordon, welcome. We're finishing up the first one. This is an X15 R2 power rail failure, and we found a chip that was blown up, and then it was actually blown up by another chip. So we had to find the second chip that caused the first chip to blow up, and the chip that blew up tried to cauterize itself to save itself. No vote on Twitch. I see a vote on Twitch. Just look for current poll on there. Check, it's there. I can see it. Sometimes it's hard to find. You have to kind of hunt. Twitch, where's that poll? Right, but I can see it up there. It's at the top. It says, current poll, will it work? Will it work? I see the poll on Twitch. Yeah, so I see the poll. Here, I'll vote on the poll on Twitch because I think, 92% already say it's going to work on Twitch and 94% say it's going to work on the tube. So I think we have a pretty good chance of it working. We have one sourpuss on Twitch saying, no, it won't work. And then we have, it doesn't tell me, 7% on, it's 7% on both. So they're saying it's not going to work. How can you make that into a t-shirt? I know. Will it work? Yeah, Twitch makes the polls hard to see. I know. That's kind of strange. It seems like it would just pop up right on the screen. Hey, thanks for the follow. 98% says yes. Okay, so we're going. Here we go. We're going in. Going in hot. Okay, so keep it on the power meter. Plugging in the charger. 0.01, that's what we want. 0.05, and it should drop back down 0.02. That's what we wanted. You see that? So it's resting. It's resting at 20 milliamps. All right, so now we're going to press the power button. I don't have a battery in here or plugged in or anything. And we got 2.61 amps, 2.5, and then we went to 5 amps. And we got the Alienware screen. I saved another laptop. So that worked. And we can boot into diagnostics. And oh my gosh, yes, I hear you. There's no hard drive installed. No, the battery's not installed. I know. Come on. Was that loud for you? Because that was crazy. Whew. Oh my. Yeah, so lo siento. Oh my gosh. Yay, I fixed it. Yeah, so that one's fixed. So we can set that aside and we can mark that down as a win. So the next one we're going to, nice job, Nathan. And it works. It got my attention. I was like, what? Who's talking to me? Who's talking to me? I don't know if y'all can hear the bell ring, but it rings on my side, and it might come through the microphone or something, but anyway, the bell rings. Let me put these screws away. So I just throw a magnet in here. And then we got it. So let me grab the next one, which is the 17R3. So this one I kind of took a quick look at, so I cheated a little bit. But because I didn't know I was going to do a video or do it as a video or anything, and then I talked to the customer about it, and then so he's in chat somewhere. So if this is your laptop, let yourself be known. And his name is Ankit. Man, that was loud. I'm sorry, Peter. That was really loud to me too. So, so this is a 17-inch laptop. It's a circa, let's see, R3, circa 2016, 17, somewhere around there. So it's an older machine. Yeah, Ankit. Thank you. Yeah, so so Ankit in the chat there. That's his laptop, and so we're going to take a look here. So I'm going to just plug in the charger. It does turn on. I can concur. But the symptom I was seeing here was he sent it in for this issue. He's actually in Canada. So there's the message here. Oh, I just saw that. Sorry about that. Well, I'll have to just read it. So battery drain issue, laptop abruptly shuts off when connected to the charger, battery were just drained. Local repair shop suggested changing the battery. New battery was generic and also died in a couple months. And the second generic battery that I'm using in the laptop, but the issues persist. So sending the laptop to the US. So he sent it in, and we are going to try to figure out what's going on with it. So what I actually saw was the issue is here. I'm gonna start out by disabling something. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think it's the GPU issue. So we're going to disable this. Okay. So we're going to be able to see this. Let me see if I can get this like that. Is that going to be better? Let's try. All right, so this laptop actually works just fine, and right now I'm going to open some stress tests because this is what I'm trying to identify if it's a power issue or not. I did verify that the battery charges, and it was actually charging up. It's very dim. Let's see if we can brighten it up. All right, is that muy bien? Is that much better? So what I did here is we're going to open, I'm going to open Furmark, but we're going to run it, I have the main GPU disabled, okay? So we're just going to run off the CPU's GPU, which is super fancy. And there it is. Super slow. But what we're going to do is also run the Prime 95 stress test. And so we're going to run this simultaneous. And I want you to look at how much current we have pulling and that the laptop's staying on. So I have a 280 watt charger plugged in. Ankit, is this the original charger that came with yours? This is only 180 watt. The original charger? Because I would think that this would take like 240, but I'm using a 240 on this. It's only pulling 114. Now we don't have the GPU turned on at all. This is only using the CPU's GPU and the CPU. And so we're stressing this out right now, and we're trying to see if this thing will shut off because of a power-related issue. And right now, nothing's happening. Oh, stop the pull, thank you. And then I can't stop the switch pull, I don't think. It just ends on its own after 10 minutes. Yeah, oh yeah, Arnold, thank you for a reminder. So any donations to this stream go to the customers' laptops I'm working on. I don't keep any of it, okay? So if you want to do super chats or any donations, it goes to these customers and it helps pay for their repairs. Thank you for reminding me about that. And so anyway, I'm running the stress test. Nothing's happening, right? We're not having an issue. Everything's working just fine. And so this is what I want you to pay attention to. Click dismiss on the poll. Yeah, if the poll's still up there, you can just dismiss it. All right, so we're going to stop this because it's all working fine. Let me stop this stress test. And then I'm going to go back to Device Manager. And so you can see here I have the NVIDIA graphics card disabled. I did that on purpose because I want to show you something. This is how you can identify if you have a bad graphics card or graphics, it's either the card or the power MOSFETs that power the card. So now we have it enabled. And so now this monitor, the machine's still not using the graphics card. It hasn't had the kick on. There's no reason for it to turn on at this moment. It's still using the CPU's graphics. Oh my gosh, it keeps going out of focus when I talk with my hands too much. I'm sorry, guys. So now I'm going to open the FurMark again with the GPU enabled. Okay, you ready? Get ready. I'm going to start it. 3, 2, 1. That was it. The laptop just shuts off. The end. So, laptop was running fine until it tried to use the GPU. So when we have something like that, in general, we have a issue with one of the power stages for the GPU. This is commonly solved with this. Now, if I change out, so we can change all the MOSFETs because we don't know which one it is. We'll sometimes have a power stage that's failing. A lot of times when I get these, all the power stages have already or one of the ones have already failed and it's causing a short in the main power rail. But what ends up happening is, like, if you have it doing this, then you don't know which one is failing, so you have to kind of figure it out. I just replace all of them. That's kind of generally the trick, is you just change all of them and then that fixes it. So that's what we're gonna have to do. And then if we change them all and it's still doing the same thing, then we probably means there's an issue with, like, the silicon itself, the GPU itself. So that's kind of where we have to go with that. So we'll pull the motherboard out. What ends up happening too on these is we still have, oh, you saw the 2 amp current draw still? Yeah, so the system still, it almost did like a brownout, I bet, and then didn't end up shutting off all the way. But anyway, when we do that, oh yeah, so when it starts having these shorts like that, the protection MOSFETs end up going bad too, so we'll probably end up changing those out. So let me pull the motherboard out, and we will figure it out. Boom goes dynamite. Jim, it's dead. It's dead, Jim. We need more power. You're tired. You think you'll go home? Are you not at home right now? Where are you? Oh, the GPU. Yeah, that's... the GPU said, I'm tired. I think I'll go home. It's more like, I think I'm going to break the party for everyone else. Uh-oh. This camera's about to die. I'm going to switch to my wide angle, or this camera's it's about to overheat. I can see it blinking at me right now. So you're about to lose this picture for a little bit, and I'll let it cool off. I think it's a little warmer in here than normal, so there it goes. So that one just shut off. Sorry about that. So you won't see my face for a little bit while it's cooling off. I still have my wide angle here somewhere. Let's see. Hello! But you can't see the overhead at the same time for that, so. Yeah, this new camera has been nothing but trouble for me, so I'm pretty irritated with it. And it's not even a new camera. I bought it used. I mean, that's my problem. Is like, I'm cheap. I don't want to buy anything new. Don't want to buy anything new. So I bought a used camera, and I got what I paid for, apparently. I mean, I have one exactly like it right above me. So the one I'm using right here, right above me, same camera. But I have to put fans on the back of them. They have a special fan. These are Nikons, and then you have a fan to cool them off because they overheat. But it does feel hot in here right now. I think my AC is not set low enough. Yeah, cameras are expensive. So even like this used camera was like $600 or something. All right, so we have a mechanical drive. It is a something. It's from April 2016, circa 1 TB. 1 TB. So we have to pull this whole thing apart in order to get to the board, so it's a lot of fun. So you guys just keep chatting amongst yourself. Tape an ice cube to it. Yeah, or get a Peltier cooler for it or something. Or I need like a fan off to the side that blows out. I just don't want to have any more fan noises. No, I added the fan to the back of the Nikon. Yeah, so it like clips. You basically fold the little flip thing out, like the screen. What am I trying to say? You flip the screen out, and then there's a little fan that bolts into the back or clips into the back. Yes, HGST is the budget brand of the Western Digital. Is that a real hard drive? It is. It's a mechanical hard drive, is how I call it. But yes, it is a HDD from 2016. Wait, it's too hot in Texas? Yes, it's very hot in Texas. Although it's starting to cool off. I mean, we're only getting into the 90s every day. We didn't have that many 100-degree days this year, which was nice. We usually have, I don't know, 40 or something. Got most of those secret screws. Do we have our secret screws? Ah. Oh, did we lose our other camera too? Hello? The whole thing froze. Are you there? Did the other thing freeze too? Come on, people. Is that camera not working either? No, it's working now. I don't know. The whole thing froze for a second. That was weird. It doesn't say I lost any frames though. So I don't know, guys. That was a 7-minute buffer, 7-second buffer. Huh. Yeah, we're missing some frames here. So there's that. Let's see if this camera will come back on. Oh, YouTube is receiving an error. Oh, great. Huh. But y'all can still hear me, right? We're good? Yeah, I know I froze, but now YouTube's saying I'm having an error receiving me. But I mean, it's not having any dropped frames. Yeah, maybe it's Bits of Austin. What am I looking for here? I'm just going to keep going while we're doing it, and as long as we're good, we're good. Even though it's saying we have an error here. I got 733 people on our YouTube stream and only 22 people on Twitch. A lot of people left off of Twitch. I could see this as being boring by unscrewing stuff, but we got a new subscriber. Thank you. Thank you for the subscription. Hopefully we're done buffering or having any issues tonight. Twitch is garbage. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people love it, so that's why I'm doing it, but I love all my Twitch followers. I think I'm missing a screw again. Yes, I am. I'm telling you, there's too many screws in this thing. Whoever said in the next chat they scanned your post is hilarious. Okay. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. There we go. Okay. So this thing, you have to open it up like that. So we have to be careful because all these connectors are under here. And then I'm going to unplug this. You really can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Coming in hot. Got to unplug it. Okay, so palm rest is off. And there's the Motherboard. So can we access any of this stuff? No. So we have to take the whole thing out anyway, which means we have to pull the whole screen off, which means we have to pull the antennas out because the design of the Century is here. The chat is also slow. Yeah, there's a lag on our my Twitch stream. I'm like looking at it, and there's like looks like a 20 or 30 second lag on Twitch. I think they do it on purpose, though. I don't know. Looks like stop motion video. Montgomery, is it doing that on Twitch or where? Like right now? Do we have some more drop frames? Or is that just earlier? Assembled by aliens. Oh. Love it. Love it. No lag here. Okay. Yeah, I think we just had that one little lag spike. I think we're okay. We're all good. Proceed. Okay, so this screen comes off like that, but we don't want to rip the LCD connector off, so we have to unplug it. We sure are doing a lot of stuff just to take the motherboard out. Now what do we get to do? Does this description sound really loud? I can turn that down if it's bugging you. I just can't hear it. That's why I turned it up a little bit. Daryl, thank you. Warp speed. 24-second chat lag. Interesting. Wonder why it's such laggy. So you're saying that the difference between what's said on Twitch versus what's shown on the screen is 24 seconds? Yeah, I know there's a little bit of a lag. That's how they do it. 5 seconds for you. So maybe you have to move straight to the front of the buffer. After I take 10,000 screws out, are we there yet? Are we there yet? 5 more minutes. Did your dad ever do that when you were all on a road trip and you say, are you there yet? Are you there yet? And then you just say 5 more minutes. He would never give us the real answer. He would just say 5 more minutes every time. Okay, and the motherboard is out. All right, so now that we have the motherboard out, we are going to see how dry and crusty this heatsink compound is. So, Ankit, have you ever changed the thermal paste on this thing before? Are we there yet? So I'm going to pull this off and we're going to see how crusty it is. I'm going to do a little zoom. Oh, you have. Okay, so it's not too bad. Okay, but we're going to zoom just in case we see some fun. All right. That looks nice and milky. Looks nice and milky. That's good. Yeah, so it's not dried like clay. That's what I was looking for, was like clay dried up thing. So another 100 feet. Is that what? Wait, that's what your military always said. Another 100 feet. Oh, that's a funny one. Oh, so we only have 3 power stages. I said 4, and it's dual. It's just dual MOSFETs here. Here's the GPU. Here's the power stages. Here's the CPU. Here's the power stages. We'll get under the microscope instead. And so GPU is what we have issues with. So whenever we try to run a stress test on it, it actually shuts off the whole machine. Most likely what we have is one of these dual MOSFETs are failing. So these are dual MOSFETs. What are they? 6992s? Yeah, 6992s. So these are going to be working in conjunction in order to create power stages for the CPU. And so most likely one of those is failing and shorting to ground or something like that. Or shorting, putting too much voltage through the CPU or GPU or something like that. We won't know which one is failing, so we'll have to replace, I said 3 power stages, 6 chips. So let me see if I have 6 of those. That would be nice if I do. That'd be very nice if I have those. Look at that bag of 6992s right here. Look at this. And Kit, you're going to get brand new from my box here. Brand new ones. What oscilloscope do I use? Oh, no, you're asking, Arnold, you're asking somebody else? Use oscilloscope on it? Yeah, I could do that, maybe. The thing is you can't measure it with it on. That's the problem. So the thing is that, yeah, so like when we turn this thing on, you can only turn it on momentarily. We can maybe put a heatsink on it, kind of. Were they 6962s? Oh, no. Oh, no. You might be right. I might be backwards. 6992s. Are we good? You concur? Does everyone concur? You should have concurred. Is that a 2 also? Yeah. Okay. All right. We concur, right? 6962. The bag said 69. Oh, you're right. So somebody is keeping an eye on. That's when the doorbell was supposed to ring. Look at that. Oh my gosh. You're killing me. I think 6962s will work on it too, but that's not 100%. Well, then I don't have brand new ones. Hey, can someone compare a 6962 to a 6992? Don't put up a poll. No. Can someone compare that for me? I can't remember. I think I put those on before. 6992. Yeah. But I need some 6992s and I don't have any. So the only thing I can do is pull it from a donor board if we're going to do that. But I would rather put brand new chips on it if I can. I'm pretty sure they're the same or pretty close. I'm sure someone will figure that out. Let me grab a donor board and see if I have anything that looks promising. Because I don't have brand new ones. You know, I swear I bought some of those though. You know what? I swear I did. I shouldn't swear, but let me look at these. Maybe they're in the wrong bin here. These are all DR MOSFETs though. DR. Yeah, so those are all DR MOSFETs. These are regular MOSFETs. $9500s. I might have used them all then. Bad Cat's question indicates they are compatible. Yeah, that's what I remember. I think they are compatible. Like they're pretty close. I think the 6992s may be the newer version of it. Typically a higher voltage rating than a 6962, but acceptable 220, 221, whatever it takes. Yeah, of course. Michael Keaton, guys, come on. Okay, we'll keep that in our pocket. Let me look at donor boards real quick. They're both 30 volts. They both have the same resistance. Sometimes you got different latching and different curves or whatever. 6.9 is a slightly higher rating. So we're talking like 80 amps versus 70 amps, or we're talking about 35 amps versus 80 amps. Because it's amps is what I'm looking at. It says 6962 would make it the problem. Use 69 to feed the. Yeah, 692 supports higher. So I wouldn't want to give you a downgrade. That's the problem. So if we're down, because I think I've went higher. It's not for low side switching application characteristics and lower, and then it's for high side switching for positive. Oh, okay. So this is going to be for low and high side switching when we're creating the power rail for this GPU. Is the pinout? Yeah, the pinout's going to be the same because these are just MOSFET, dual MOSFETs, so they kind of pretty much the same setup. It's a dual MOSFET, while the 6269, yeah, that's not what we're talking about. 6962 is what we're talking about. So here's a donor board I have that we could borrow. Borrow some ships off of. And I'm trying to remember if I've seen the 6962s on one of these. That's why I thought about that. Oh yeah, you can see them perfectly. This is when the anti-glare light would come in handy, right? But I'm not putting that darn thing on just to look at a chip. Trying to get a better angle here. Come on. Come on. This is crazy. Why? I'm like holding it in every angle possible just to see this darn thing. Oh my gosh. There we go. All right, 6992s. So we do have a set of 6992s on here. Brand new. And kid, are you okay with these? You love it. You love it. You're okay with this nice set here? This is a beautiful set. Brand new set of 6. You only have one that's failing. We don't know which one it is. But I have a brand new set of 6 right here. Now, we're going to measure them, make sure that they seem okay. But I'm sure they're fine. Or we can go with 6962s, which is just a slight downgrade, apparently. The difference is the package of electronic characteristics, including a lower power. Yeah, because I wouldn't want to put something that's made for. Yeah, we'll just do the original. That's what I think. Like factory. Thank you. And Ankit, that's what you'd rather, right? Actually, it's his choice. It's his laptop. Do you want me to put the 6962s on there, or do you want me to put the 6992s on there that are from this board right here? I say downgrade is new is better. Yeah, I mean, that's an opinion. Dot the 86. Oh, yeah. I don't even know. Is Ankit still here? He's not even here anymore. So it's our decision now, all right? I'm going to pull these off. We're going to set them off to the side, and that way we have them ready to go. And actually, I wanted the measure right here, because I know that people would. Oh, yeah, yes. So you're saying your 6992s is what you want? So we're going to get you with the originals. That's what we'll do. And I just want to measure here real quick. Vote. Yeah, we could do a vote. Here, we'll do a quick vote, actually, just because it's fun. So I'll have to create the polls because you guys can't do... Well, I guess you could just say yes, no. Ankit says 6992. He's the actual deciding factor anyway, so that's what we're going to do. So cancel the vote. I'm like all over the place, guys. All right, I just want to measure the resistance here and just see if we see anything suspicious. Okay, 2.2 mega ohms. So this is going to be our ground. And 1.5K. And that looks good. And this gate looks good. 2.2. Yep. So then that's good on all of them because they're all tied together. 5.5K. And then this gate here. And then we'll make sure that our GPU is not shorted. Look at that. GPU is at 6 ohms. Wow, that's a GPU for you. Okay. Do it proper. We're going to do it proper. So I'm going to pull these off so we have them already ready to go to install. This board will take a little while to heat up. And we have these electrolytic capacitors. And so if you guys are lucky, we'll have one explode right in front of you. So put your glasses on, because here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to heat this area first. We're going to try to heat all of this, try to get the board nice and hot, and then I'll come over here at the last second. I'm not going to worry about protecting that stuff because I'm not like super worried about using those components. I have tons of these boards. So we're going to pull these 6 chips off. We'll set them off to the side, and that's what we're going to use. 6962 is only 6.5 amps, while the 6992 is 50 amps. Yeah, that's a huge difference, guys. So one's a low side, one's a high side. I would think that, yeah, that's not going to work. I was thinking that maybe it was like a 35 amp to a 30 amp or a 80 amp to a 70 amp or something like that. So you notice I haven't put any flux on this yet. I'm just kind of heating the board first. And now that we have it nice and hot, we will add some flux. So here we go. Add the flux there. There we go. So I'm going to get these middle ones off first, and then I'll go and grab these end ones. Hey, thanks for the follow. Okay, so this one's off. This one's off. That one's off. That one's off. Then we got to get these two that you can't see probably. That one's off. And that one's off. All right, got them all. Boom. We were going to create another one, another poll, but we're not going to now because if this is Ankit's laptop, he's in the queue. He overrides any of our votes anyway. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So I have our brand new chips right here. Brand new. Circa 2016. And the chat froze. Chat's still going to me. I can see it. I don't know. We're having all sorts of issues tonight. Test for a short now that I took them all off of there, or test the MOSFETs. We could test to see if there's the GPUs doing anything special, just for kicks. See if anything's different. So we got 0.4. That's interesting. That's interesting. Chat not frozen. I see the chat moving just fine, so I'm not sure what that's going on there. Now I'm buffering. I don't have any drop frames, but I actually do see my internet going down a little bit. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. Yeah, I could see definitely a little bit of lag going on here. Hey, thanks for the sub. So, anyway, we got those off. Those are good. So now we get to pull these off and move them over. So we're gonna have to protect his stuff. I gotta take his card off of here. I must have Spectrum. I actually have Grande, which is Astound. And it's a gig, but it's only by 50. And so I'm trying to get fiber here, and they just now put fiber in the building. And that will help a lot. But it also would help if it just worked. Yeah, I need a new ISP. I mean, I'm using lower bandwidth on YouTube than I used to do. And then like Twitch, I'm only doing like 3 megabit, which is crazy. But for YouTube, I'm doing 7, and I used to do 10, but I had to put that down. How long has the stream been running? So we're at hour and 51 minutes. And so we have another hour and 10 minutes or left or so. But we should have this one fixed by then. And then we can go on to the last one. I'm working on it. We have a new... They just wired our building with fiber, so I just have to sign the contract and move over. Yeah, I know I need more on Twitch for sure. If we can get some more bandwidth in the building, then I would go higher. I know that Twitch is kind of picky with how much you give it. Like I'm only running 720p on Twitch also, because if I went to 5, then or 1080p, they were not work. It wasn't working. But that was only the first week that I was experimenting. I was having to kind of change the way that I was encoding it and everything. New coming offers 1 gig symmetrical. Yeah, I would love some 1 gig symmetrical because I have some remote workers that VPN into the building, and so it would be a lot nicer if they didn't have to VPN through a 50 meg upload. So Clearstream in New York City. Yeah, they kneecap my upload. So I have a gig down and then 50 up, which was nice whenever I went to it, because I was going from a 10, let's say maybe it was a 200 by 10 or something like that before, which was Spectrum. I went from that to the gig by 50, which I was like, whoa, that's cool. And so for the most part, 50 is fine. Like if you have like one person VPN'd in or something like that, or whenever I'm like out of the country, I'll VPN and I'll just pipe through my business. And then that's what I use. I'll run all my traffic, so I don't use those third-party VPNs. I just use my own. And that actually works pretty well. All right, so here's our guys. We don't know which one's failing. I mean, maybe we could identify which one's failing. Do we see any heat anywhere? These are all dusty. We have no way of knowing which one's failing. So, you know, that's why we're just going to place all 6 of them. Sometimes you can look at it and say, okay, I can see, you know, like this solder ball is bubbling out, but I don't think that's the issue. These are the gates, and so they have it bubbling out, and it looks like the gates are bubbling out on all of them, and then the drains are fine, and the source. So I don't know. You never know. That's why I just change them out. Just change them all. So we'll pull them all off and start going. So we're gonna do the same kind of process. We'll heat this side of the board first. Start to get these kind of loose. We'll come over here and grab this while the board's hot, and that way we don't have to worry about melting anything. I'm actually gonna cover up this Wi-Fi connector too a little bit. Can you heat gun them to look for a short? I don't know. That might be something. Let's try it, actually. That might be something to try. What do you think? So the idea, the premise is, these are only shorting out because they're getting hot. So if we start measuring and then you heat it up, I mean, although they do act differently when they're heated up anyway, so they would trigger on, theoretically. So I don't know if that would actually tell me which one it is, because then we would have to inject voltage back through it. So I don't know. Yeah, so I have copper tape here. I have two layers of Kapton tape underneath here, and then I put a piece of copper tape on top of that, and then this is another piece of Kapton tape over this whole thing. So that kind of gives me an extra little shield. I didn't melt anything on the other board when we took it off as a good test anyway, but look at this oozingness. So we're gonna use that in a second. Let me get my air going. Oh, great. I wonder how long my camera's gonna stay on before it overheats again. You'll never know. 10 gig fiber, oh, 10 by 10. That's crazy. That's like an ISP. I mean, how many, I guess you have a lot of users, I guess, huh? Well, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the donation to this person's repair. And Kip appreciates it. Starlink. Yeah, I signed up for Starlink early on, and then it took like 3 years or 2 years or whatever before they told me, we're going to charge you more money, so go ahead. And I'm like, no, I don't want it then. So there's 1, 2. Oh, I didn't put the flux on. I was like, what am I missing here? Flux. It's like, why is this acting weird? That's when the doorbell's supposed to go off and say, flux. Flux. Okay, got all those guys off. While it's hot, I'm gonna put some fresh solder on these because then they can melt easier and it's easier to install them. I usually wouldn't even worry about that, but it's going to be easier because I don't want to try to melt anything around it. So. You must flux it up. Don't flux up everything. So this is just a leaded solder, which melts at 183 degrees C versus the unleaded solder, which is 220-ish. Okay. What diameter of the nozzle am I using? I don't know. The smaller one, I think. What is this? So the two that I mainly use are going to be this kind of thicker size and then this thinner size. If I'm using a chip that's bigger, I use this one, but I mainly am using this one because it has a lot more air pressure, and I use 60% air. Shut up and flux it. Okay, so now we can heat it up and set the chips down. Let me get them ready to go. So I don't want to get them mixed up. The problem with this is that we're doing so many of them, we have to kind of figure out the orientation of all of them. So pin 1, there's not really a pin 1 on here, but, well, I guess it has pin 1 right there, but on these chips it's hard to see them, but I just look at the bottom and you can see the layout. So we have the small pad and the big pad, so that's what we're going to be looking at. So that one's going to go there, like that. We'll just get a couple of them set up, and then we'll go and hit those, get them in place. Yeah, there's a dot on it right there. That's kind of nice. So let's see if I can see the dot. See, I can't see the dot. There's all this junk on there. Okay. Hawaiian pizza actually sounds good. Yeah. I had a like a ham and fig pizza. It was a Whole Foods. That's what I had right before the stream. It's kind of interesting. That savory, sweet and savory mixed together. Okay, that's going to go there. I'm just kind of setting them up off to the side like this so I know exactly which one to grab next. Just don't grab them out of order, right? So now I got them all set up right there. So now they're ready to go. Okay. All right. Ready? Yes, I use the 213. Amtech 213 or the 559. Or I use, well, I still have it. NF Flux. That's why I still have it in my bin right here. But I don't really use that. Unless we want to play around with it, experiment. Texas has barbecue pizza. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So they have barbecue sauce on it instead of pizza sauce. Now, there's not usually a lot of brisket on there. It's usually like barbecue chicken pizza is usually what they call it. So do a poll whether it's going to work or not. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, guys. So after I replace all these MOSFETs, is it going to fix the issue where we can actually run the GPU without it shorting out and shutting off? So I'm just going to tack all these on here quickly. So right as I see the solder start to melt, I'll go and tack it on there. I'm not caring about how they're sitting yet because we're going to go back and reflow them. Okay. So now that we have them kind of tacked in place, I'm going to add some more flux to them. And then we'll reflow them and they'll sit down. We might need to squeeze out some extra stuff underneath. Yeah, that one came out, little stuff came out there. I'm actually going to pick up these balls as we go. I don't want them to suck back in there. Because I just had a ball fly away. Did you see that? I don't want these to fly away. Okay. We've got the polls going? Okay, good. Yeah, so Twitch, there is a poll up there, so don't say there isn't a poll. Because this would take me a little bit of time, so y'all have time to vote. And that poll should be up there for about 10 minutes, so you have a little bit of time. And it's hard for me to answer questions while I'm doing this, so if you're asking questions, I'm not really paying attention to the chat at this particular moment. And I will try to go back to it in a second. But this is just a slow grind right through this. Because remember, we just got them tacked in place, but now we have to get them set down. So these balls just keep flying out. And see, if I heat this back up again, it sucks all this back in. So I have to kind of do this as a process. And normally I would kind of do one at a time, I think, but I do them all different, I guess, every time. Wow, these are flying away. I don't know if my air pressure seems higher or something. I don't know, it's weird. It's like the solder is flying more than normal. Six votes and 44 viewers. So how many bots do we have on Twitch, by the way? We only have 6 votes. That's cray-cray. Ah, I just burned my hand. This is why I don't like putting a bunch of fresh solder down, because you see how much solder I'm having to squeeze out here, but if I would have left the solder that was already on there and then the solder that was on these chips, then it would have married perfectly. But because I did this other way, now I'm like having to sit here and suck up all this extra solder. It's almost like more work. Well, it is more work. But the idea is to not have to heat the board as much, but now I'm having to go in there multiple times, so different ways of looking at it, I guess. I don't know why this one doesn't want to move. There we go. Okay, get in your place. Okay, get that one cleared out. Wow, this was a lot more work doing it this way. Save ball somewhere. Okay. So let's clean it up and let's keep an eye out for any solder balls. If you guys see any solder balls, ring the bell, if you wouldn't mind. Because I don't want to leave a solder ball out there that I missed. I'm going to try to clean this with a toothbrush. I'm going to let it cool off just a little bit before I start scrubbing on it. But oh, I do see a ball right there. See that? Solder on the connector. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. What else? On the pins, is that what you're talking about? The connector. Okay. Seeing some solder on the pins. So we got that one, right? Is that the one you were talking about? The bell worked though. Yeah. All right, let's scrub it a little bit. And Starter, thanks for the follow. Okay. Who needs it? Yeah. Okay. That looks pretty good. They're not the straightest. Let me see. Do they look straight? One of these don't look perfectly straight. Is it this one? Something doesn't look symmetrical to me, but I think I'm just being picky. Maybe it's this one. You can see the line on the edge here and this one on the edge. It doesn't really matter, but I'm kind of picky when it comes to that. So it looks good. All right. Okay, something looks different than the other. All right, so all those are installed. And we'll just clean just a little bit more in case we have anything else, any residue. See all this flux that came over here? Or is that from something else? Is that a spill? Or is that just from the flux roaming on its own? Flux over there. Yeah, I'll hit it with some high pressure air. That's a good idea. I like that idea. Kept on tape. Gets thrown away anyways, yep. Sometimes I'll stick it off to the side and maybe reuse that little piece for a little bit. Okay. Looks like the position of a pair of pens look off. Okay, let's see. Ah, look at this. Here's a guy. Hello, dude. What are we talking about? Position of pins. Are we talking about in this chip? One of these? Samuel, you can't ring the bell, buddy. Only my mod's can ring the bell right now. I'm going to set up some sort of super chat or something that y'all can do that at some point. But watching on YouTube and the TV, but the Twitch vote, yeah. Twitch voted. Twitch needs color on their polls. Yes, they do. Am I able to do that? Do we have solder on the Wi-Fi connector? Okay, I'm gonna hit this with high pressure air real quick. I think we're good with everything else, right? Did everyone happy with me, what we got going on? Small ball on inductor. Did we find that one though? An other inductor. Ah, yep, thank you. That's what you guys are here for. There we go. I'm gonna toothbrush from a different angle too. I think that will help. You know, it's funny is it really normally isn't this much work when it comes to soldering with this, but that for some reason the solder balls are just flying everywhere. Superposition. We're talking quantum mechanics again. Okay, I'm going to blow this, blowed it. Might be loud. So I'm going to use one of these guys. Have you ever seen one of these little air cannons? Okay. So that's done. The other thing I wanted to check on before we call it good, well, we could also check to see if we have a short or anything, of course. And 1.8 ohms, which is beautiful. Wait, that's the CPU. It's beautiful anyway. Beautiful CPU. This should be at like, this is 2.3. What did we measure on the other one? Like a little higher than that, right? Like 6 or something. Anyway, but that should be good. This is probably a higher end GPU or something. Okay, so the last thing I want to do before I assemble it, so we don't assume that everything's good on there. So what I want to look at is I want to look at the input MOSFETs, the protection MOSFETs that are the first, they act as protection right when the power comes to the board. And those always end up going bad, and we got to replace those while we're at it. So that's what we're doing. We're just going to check them at least. So here's our input, DC. So here's our input, DCN right here. This is a battery connector. But if you look, we have 2 inductors. So we're going to have our 20 volts, 19 volts come through these 4 pins, go through these 2 inductors, going to come to this MOSFET right here, going to come out of that one, go into this one. Actually, these are in a pair. If you look at it, they're paired up. Can you see the traces? So we have a trace that comes across here and then actually comes across there. And so these are paired together, I believe. Yeah, they have to be. Yeah, so those are paired together. So they're in parallel. And so what I want to check is I want to make sure we don't have a short through one of these. What ends up happening with these is they end up getting damaged and shorted on. So we're in continuity mode. So I'm just going to test across it and make sure we don't have a short across there. And we're good. We'll also just test the gate. And we'll test the gate. Okay, that's all I wanted to verify. Once that's sealed and done with, we're good. So now we can actually reassemble this. And Ankit, I think we're going to do good. This camera's about to overheat and shut off. I can see it blinking at me already. So perfect timing, I guess. Maybe it's only whenever I'm going to reassemble something is whenever it wants to shut itself off. So we're about to do that. So I'm going to shut this off just because it's about to overheat and shut off anyway. So that camera's off for right now while I'm dealing with this. It's fine. The frozen meter. Stupid meter. Did y'all not see what I was measuring? Well, where did the solder balls come from? So whenever I was pushing down, I was heating up the chips and I was going to push them down to lay them down flat. The solder was coming out and then the air pressure was blowing it around. So in general, I don't have to worry about that. Love man, thanks for the follow. Generally, I don't have to worry about that because I use the solder that's already on there, and there's a solder, if I'm pulling it from a donor board, then there's already solder on the chip and there's solder on the board, and then you marry it back together, it's the same amount. But because I reflowed the pads on the motherboard, then it had a lot of solder on the motherboard, it already had solder on the chips, and then when that married together, it caused it to squeeze out. So Bad camera designs. Yes, so overheating is an issue with this camera apparently. Although I have two of them, the other one doesn't overheat, so I don't know what the heck's going on. I was told that these are unlimited streaming cameras, HDMI out, and then they're powered by USB-C. If you power it by USB-C, it's supposed to overheat. I'm like looking at this camera talking here. It's funny. I'm literally talking to the camera right above this camera. So this is my backup camera. But I guess we could do this view, and you can see me, and you can see the overhead too. But anyway, so this other camera is designed to run off of USB-C and HDMI. And if you use USB-C, it will actually overheat. So then I bought a dummy battery and put it in there. So now it's running off a dummy battery, so it shouldn't be overheating. And then I'll even put a camera fan on the back to keep it cool, and it's still overheating. While the one above me for this overhead's the same camera, and that one's running with just USB-C and a fan. So it has a fan on the back, and it's not overheating. So I don't put a heatsink on it. It's funny because I do astronomy stuff, so I've opened up one of these cameras before, and I put a Peltier cooler on it and all that stuff, and I built a PID controller that would actually cool it down. But I was putting it to like negative 20 degrees C, and the whole back of the camera started like getting condensation and stuff on it. But it would be nice to just keep it cool. It is kind of hot in here though, so maybe I should go turn the AC on. I think my AC, I think I set it too high earlier. Are you guys at the edge of the seats here? Do you think this is going to work? Oh, did we figure out what was the poll verdict on Twitch? I can see that YouTube's still going. It's at 82%. Yeah, I checked. They both have the same. Well, you know, I scratched that. I upgraded the firmware of this new camera whenever I got it to the most recent, thinking that would fix it. And I think the firmwares are a little bit off. So I don't know if there's a way to get to whatever firmware this one is, because there's like two firmwares in it. And the firmware is supposed to address the overheating issue in general, but I think it's a newer firmware than the one that I have in this other one. So maybe I need to, I don't know. I need to figure something out because I'm tired of it. Because today this camera's overheated 5 times. And this is my cell phone right here that we're on. Although it's a little, I can see a little laggy for some reason too. And that one used to not be laggy. So, Deputy, I don't know if I saved another laptop yet. We're about to see. We will about to see. We got Arctic Silver 5 on here. Make a custom cooler. I know, it's a fun project. That would be totally up my alley, but the issue is I don't have time. I'm literally working 12 hours a day. I was here for 12 and a half yesterday, and then I've been here for 13 hours today. So I'm booked up. It's because you guys are sending me too many laptops. Or laptops keep breaking, or whatever it is. Finally made the live start. Storm Chaser made the live stream. Welcome. He did it. And then we're going to have Sunday morning live streams too, but hopefully that didn't interfere with other people's church schedules and stuff. You have a S25 Ultra, yeah, which is a good one. What type of cell phone? The cell phone I'm using right here is an S10. It's an old S10, Samsung, which is what I used on all my videos. Every video you've seen this year was filmed. My face camera was my S10 here. I have it on wide angle right now, but and then I was like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the face camera to make it look nicer, but now it just keeps overheating. And it's also laggy sometimes and all sorts of stuff. Storm Chaser, are you actually a Storm Chaser? I like the name, it's cool. All right, did I get all these screws? Okay, those are good. Yeah, DIY Dave can't come to the Sunday streams because he has his church time, which I understand that people have that time, and I don't want to interfere with doing those things. Where does this go? This is for the DC jack. Ah, right? No, what does this go to? This bracket goes to... Ah, I know what it goes to. We'll switch to overhead. We can probably turn this back on. That bracket goes there. Let me screw it in. Yeah, we're doing 9 a.m. Central Time Sunday mornings. So that gives it, that's like, what, 10 Eastern and 7 Pacific? Is that right? So it's really only the Eastern people, I think, that are going to have issues. Darren, you will show the live stream at your church. You'll have it posted on there. That's so funny. Oh, that's great. That's a good idea. Just post them. It's 3:22 in the morning in the Netherlands. Well, it is past your bedtime, isn't it? So hopefully you can join the Sunday morning one instead, which will be in the afternoon for you. At least that's my plan, is to make it where it's the afternoon for you guys. Will this work, or will it won't? Okay, I'm going to stop the poll and get it out of the way. So 83% of the people say that this will fix the issue. And remember what the issue is. We can get it to boot the Windows, but whenever we get to Windows and we try to run the GPU, it crashes. Now, there is a chance that it's not going to fix it because there's an issue with the silicon itself, right? But I've fixed plenty of these this way, so that's why I'm fairly confident. I think 17% chance of it not working seems pretty appropriate. For some reason, I can't assemble machines that way. I got to go this way with it. Okay. Come on, get in your home. There we go. Your priest would totally watch my live stream. Very methodical. No problem. I'm glad I could share all the info you needed. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, I'm not going to put every single screw in here. We're just going to try to tack this in place and try to get this thing to fire up. Does that sound like a good idea? Because there is a lot of screws here. Piece of plastic flew off. Where? Oh, is this a piece of plastic? Oh, yeah. Where did that plastic come from? I think it was whenever I was trying to snap the board in. It might have just been a little clip inside of here. Sorry, Ankit. You got good eyes, though. Okay. Yeah, I was like trying to get the motherboard to sit down and it wasn't sitting down, so it probably was just like one of the little tabs inside there that kind of is like a little clasp or something. Robert has a 50-50 chance of this working. I guess we could have put a 50-50 choice on there, but then that would have, most people would have chose that, I bet. Yes, need input. This is a live stream, a weekly live stream we do, and then we are actually doing 2 of them now, so we have 2 weekly live streams that we fix laptops live and figure, well, we try to fix laptops live. It depends. Sometimes we have it where it doesn't work. The first one we did, we found a couple different components that were bad, and we got them replaced, and the board's turning on and working. Thanks for the follow. And can we see what we're doing here? And now this one is a GPU failure. Whenever you try to run this, the GPU, it shuts off. So we replaced all the MOSFETs that power the GPU. And we're going to see if this fixes it. Let's put a couple of screws in the motherboard too. New day, new laptop that needs to be, you know, it's new day and another laptop that needs to be saved. And this time we have, that's how it works. That's the saying. But if it's the short, I usually do new day, new laptop to repair. Because it needs to be shorter, it needs to be fast, you know, faster pace for those shorts. Because you guys are so picky with your shorts. It's like if I edit down my long video into a short and just use the same like talking dialogue and speed, it performs so poorly. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's like I'm the worst video producer ever. But then if I do my fast-paced voiceover, it gets 300,000 views in 2 days. Okay, so that's screwed in. You love my videos. Thank you so much. All right, I got to plug in the palm rest. And I don't even know if I want to plug in the keyboard and stuff. I might just use external, but we'll see. This is just the power button I'm trying to plug in. Follow your nose. Follow your nose. What is that? That's from like a PBS show or something, right? Or Toucan Sam? Is that what it is, maybe? Is that from a cereal box? Okay, I think I got that in there. Screen's plugged in, palm rest, or the power button's plugged in. Fruit Loops from the 80s, that's what it was, yep. Toucan Sam. Thought it was that. I never got any Fruit Loops when I was growing up. We only had cereal that was like good for you. It's always when we go to a friend's house, it'd be like, oh man, you got sugar cereal? We always put sugar in our cereal. That's how we had sugar cereal. Okay, so I think these are the keyboard and mouse. And we don't need the backlit ones. You found me, you found me. Twisted Hawaii has made it. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to get this keyboard plugged in, and then we will test it out. Okay, keyboard, mouse plugged in. AC adapter, fans. You know, it'd be really sad if the thing doesn't turn on at all now. It means back to the drawing board. It means that we would have to go back and change all those out. And I don't want to do that. I will have to do it at some point, but I don't know if I want to do it in the stream. Oh, okay. Captain Crunch. Okay, do we have this zoomed out? I think I have everything plugged in. Power meter, good. Batteries plugged in. Look for an explosion. Okay, battery's doing pre-charge current, and it's about to charge. There we go, battery's charging. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. All right, let's see if we can get the screen positioned for you. What was that? What does that mean? These systems always do 5. This is 4 beeps though. It usually always does 5 after I put it, take the motherboard out and put it back in. So we're gonna turn it back on. It should work. It's usually only on the first time. Nope. 4. 4 means memory, I think. Okay, battery's unplugged. Let's check our memory. If you look up Alienware 17 R3, or I guess it would be postcodes to tell me what a 4 is. I think a 4 is memory. It says RAM issue? Yeah. I just reseated the RAM. Okay, try it again. No, it doesn't need a hard drive to turn on, although we don't have a hard drive in here, so. We have 4 beeps. There we go, Alienware screen, okay. Whew. Were you worried? I wasn't worried. Okay, so let's plug in SSD. unplug the battery. This mechanical drive, I assume, doesn't have the operating system on it, right? I'm assuming it's on here. So I don't necessarily want to hook this one up if we don't have to. So we're going to just hook up the NVMe. Whoa. Whoa, just gifted a bunch of subs. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome. That was very generous of you. I haven't saved this laptop yet, so I can't say it until we are able to run the GPU stress test. So that's what I'm waiting for. Okay. All right, we'll let that boot up. Let me get some coffee. It's laced with bourbon. This is the badass screen, yeah. Thing is 17 inches. 17.3. It actually, it looks like there's something on here, but this is actually a screen protector. Hey, thanks for the follow. All right, here we go. You found Soren's channel because of me. Soren is, I love his, he's such a character. I love it. We have picture. We have picture. All right, can we see it? Do I have to tilt the whole thing back like I did before, or should I just do this? This is more comfortable for me. Okay. All right, so we have the NVIDIA display, or the NVIDIA graphics card is enabled. The LCD does not get hot, no. So it's enabled. I don't know if you can see it. So we have it enabled. We have it selected here. And last time I hit this button, the whole system shut off. All right, so this is the test right now. 3, 2, 1. I saved another laptop. Boom. That was it, buddy. So Ankit, we fixed your laptop. So it was a faulty MOSFET that was powering the GPU. And Ron says easy pizza. It's easy burrito. Uh-oh. We got a crash. We got a crash. So does that mean that we fixed that one issue, but the core is still messed up? Uh-oh. I'm going to boot it back up. Did anyone catch what the error was? I think it was a something. Someone's got to rewind for me. You know what? I didn't have the battery plugged in for one thing, but that shouldn't matter. I just want to make sure that we have it back in the same state that we had before. Let's try this again. SMH, boom. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Yeah, crank up Prime 95 first to see if that works. I didn't hear the fan spinning up either. Did I plug in the fans? Fans are plugged in. Okay, try this again. Yeah, it was definitely a blue screen. And so usually what that means is like, so you know how we have a MOSFET failing, and so the thing's shutting off to protect itself? So there could be the fact that the MOSFET was failing and kept kind of sending like jolts to the core, the GPU core. And so once we were finally able to give, you know, the core all the voltage that it needs, it could have failed that way. Yeah, well, Diags didn't catch anything. I actually ran full Diags on this earlier. It passed everything. So it doesn't test the GPU. That's why you have to do it in Windows. So let's do our test that we did a second ago. with the GPU off, just to make sure that we're not having a issue separate from that. So I'm going to turn the GPU off. Disable. All right, so now we're not running with the NVIDIA GPU at all. We're going to open FurMark again and run it off of the CPU GPU. CPU GPU. Oh, it was a bad angle. Okay, so we'll try to catch the blue screen if it does happen again. It may have just been a fluke anyway, but we got 10 frames per second. So I can tilt this back like this again and then zoom in like we were doing before. See if I can get it. Okay. I'm going to plug a mouse in because that would be easier than using the touchpad. Okay. All right, so now I want to run the Prime 95 too. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stress it out again like we did before we started the whole process, just to make sure everything is working and we're not getting any blue screens separate from what we were experiencing earlier. And the fans are not spinning up. CPU is on full blast. I don't know. Why is the fans not spinning up? I have them plugged in. There they go. They're coming. I'm gonna install a heat monitor or CPU core temp monitor. I can feel them spinning up now. Okay, because the core is not even that hot. It's only at 64 for the CPU core. So that's why they weren't spinning up yet. Can you kind of make that out? It's kind of tiny. Oh, wrong way. All right, so that's the CPU core 60s. All right, so we're going to go ahead and disable this or stop this, and we're going to start the thing again. I want you guys to get ready to freeze frame or whatever so we can tell me what the blue screen is if we get it. So I'm going to stop this. And we'll stop FurMark. So the FurMark's running off the CPU's GPU, the internal. And then now we're going to, and you can see the CPU core was using 100% because we had FurMark going. I mean, Prime 95 going. So now I'm going to enable this GPU, which did work for a second because before it was like right when I pressed the button it ended. It like killed it. But we could have something else going on. It's never guaranteed. That's the thing about it. But it's always worth a try. Where's my FurMark at? Okay. Get our FurMark open back up. You have the Alienware with the memory issue. Yeah, we fixed that Area 51 today. I told the story about it, actually. It was a CPU issue. Could be a bad stick of RAM, maybe. Oh, yeah, you know what? And it did have an issue when we first turned it on, but it would have, when we run Prime 95, it actually maxes out the memory, so that's why I don't think it is that. But, all right, so we have it set up to run on the NVIDIA graphics card again. So if it blue screens, it's going to blue screen now. Here we go. 55 frames per second. Don't blink. Don't blink. No, RAM is okay. Worked with GPU disabled. Exactly. That's kind of why I do that. And Prime 95, I don't want to run it at the same time at this particular moment. But you see how we're pulling 158 watts and I'm only running the GPU? And before we were running 110 watts and we were running the GPU and CPU. Let's see if we can figure out what the core temperature is. Where does it say it is? We're at 74 hotspot, 50 temp, so or 60 temp, which is good. That's a good temperature. Okay, these fans are spinning up. Do you think it was just a fluke? We put new thermal paste on it when we put it back together. I mean, maybe there's a chance that I am horrible at putting thermal paste on. I don't know. Was Prime 95 running when it died before? No. So the only thing we did is press this, but it's already staying on longer than it did before, correct? I mean, if y'all go back and look, it probably stayed on for 30 or 45 seconds and then died. Right now we're on for 1 minute and 22 seconds. Hardware info. Do I have? I don't know if I have hardware info, but I do have the GPU Z, so we can run that. We'll run GPU Z on it at the same time. You can hear the fans now. Yeah, they are spinning. I mean, they're really not spinning as fast as I would think they would want to be, but it may not be hot enough yet. The HDD is missing, not connected to the Windows. Maybe a whole, yeah, maybe it could have been looking for something that's on the HDD. That's a good point. So fans are now starting to ramp up, and we are at 64 temp, and then the hotspot's at 78, which is fine. I've seen hotspots up to like 87, 88. Let's see. Let's choose the right one. Well, it's staying good now. Okay. So you can see the load there, and then here's all of our sensors. I can zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see it better. I don't know. Maybe the battery did the trick. Maybe you might be right, actually, because sometimes when you have these machines, when they're trying to pull that extra current, and it just, you know, see, we're up to 165 watts. This machine's designed to run at 180 watts, or at least that's the charger he has. I'm using a 240 watt, which should be plenty of headroom, but seems to be working good now. Oh, shake the lamps. Yeah, if I move the laptop. Let's see. We're at 3 minutes and 20 seconds. When should I shake the laptop? Should I wait a little bit longer? Because basically what I like to do is I'll twist the laptop and see if it shuts off. Also, we don't have the thing screwed together all the way either. So it could have been where I don't, you know, I have, you know, something might have touched something else, or I don't know, or maybe the grounding. But I'll jiggle it a bit in a second. I just want to make sure that we're staying pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with this, actually. Okay, you ready? We're going to touch it. Shake it, baby, shake it. Here we go. Oh, shake it. Okay, I'm twisting it a little bit. Twisting it. Okay, here I'm gonna stand it up like there's nothing to worry about. Okay. Looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. I think it's good. I think it's good. Did we save it? I think we did. I think it looks good. I think we released, you know, we're able to fix that. I think it probably needed 2 for 2. Awesome job. The bell got me. Can y'all hear that bell? I don't know if it's playing through there. It's probably coming through my microphone, but it's like someone just hit a bell right next to me. Oh, okay, perfect. So I don't know how long I want to let this run here, but it's staying stable, 64 degrees temp, which is perfect. And the hot spot is 77. That's great. Yeah, anything below 80 is actually really good. So awesome. So we do have a third one we can work on, or we can mess around with some other stuff. So should we go for the third? I'm going to shut this down. I do have something off to the side that I was going to show y'all. Be kind of interesting. I saved another laptop! I'm going to wait for this to shut down. Yeah, fix this camera. That's what we should do. We should take this camera apart. Okay. So, Ankit, hopefully you're happy with that, buddy. And you got some donations from everybody, and so a little bit of a discount for you. Save you some bucks. And I'm going to clean this messy counter off. I don't know if you can tell how dirty this is, but I can't stand it. It's just, and tools sticking out and all that. I like things very organized. Not a doctor, but you're a veterinarian. By golly, that's awesome. Okay, I'm running out of alcohol. 2 for 2. So let's, let me show you something. How much time do we got? Oh, we only have 15 minutes, so this is perfect timing. So I'm going to show you this stuff, since we have our 15 minutes of time left. So we're going to do a segment I call, Is It Real or Is It Fake? All right. So I don't know if this is going to be successful or not as something that's entertaining or not, but here we go. Is it real or is it fake? All right, so we have an AC adapter here. All right. Here, we'll make it a little more interesting for you. You can change the title down there. All right, can we see the scale here? So we'll put it on. Wait, hold on. Tare weight. I guess 0 it. Not pieces. What are we doing? So I want it in ounces. Or grams. Let's do grams. Where's my grams at? There's my grams. Okay. All right, this one's 253 grams. All right. So this is a 130 watt Dell charger, USB-C, brand new. Everyone's yelling fake. Everyone's yelling fake. Yes. The tare weight again. Here, let's try it again with the tare better. Okay, it's 260. All right. But I'm going to show you around we'll go around it real quick. So we got the wattage right here. Tells you 130 watts. And then we have the label in the back, which has a serial number and everything, a Dell serial number, and has all these beautiful things that say for safety. And I like that. That label is sus. Yeah, so this is a fake charger. This should actually say Dell here, right here on this circle. It should also say Dell here. This serial number, if you ever see your serial number on a Dell product that is a QR code, it's wrong. Here, come on. So this is a QR code. If you see something with the 3 squares in the corner, that's a QR code. Dell uses matrix codes, which are not QR codes. So this is definitely fake. So we're going to keep that one off to the side. All right, so we'll do the next one. Is it real or is it fake? Hold on. This is such a ridiculous segment. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I'll get to it. Okay. So this one's really good. This is a really good one. Okay, we'll start out with quality. So you learned from the last one that this one's fake because it doesn't have a Dell logo. So we have a Dell logo. So we've checked the box on that, right? We have our Dell logo. Here, we'll take this sticker off. And then you've also learned in the back that we need to have a Dell logo on the back. Devil Side, thanks for the follow. So we have our Dell logo on the back, and then we also have a matrix code on the back. So we don't have that QR code. So remember that QR code I was talking about or speaking about? So this is called a matrix code. This is the QR code if you see the squares in the corner. So matrix code. So we can also look at this. All this here. Don't mind it falling apart. So we have our 130 watt adapter. We have all this nice information here, right? These are great little things that say how safe everything are. It's made in China. So this date code right here, this is a serial number. So this stands for China, or the country that's of origin. You'll have Taiwan, you'll have different things here. This is going to be the part number for the thing. So this 6TT6Y is the part number. The rest of this is part of the serial number, but this right here is the date code. This tells you when this was manufactured. The first number is going to be the year that it was manufactured. Could be possible. 2016. Second one's the month, third one's the day. So that's the 6th month, and then the day, it's in the alphabet, so it goes 0 through 9, and then it does the alphabet as the days. So whatever this is, probably the 30th day or something, right? So 2016, 6th month, day. It's possible that this could have been manufactured, because it is a barrel jack, in that year. But what's not possible to me is that Dell would make a product that would melt to death like this and fall out the bottom here. So, the question is it real or fake? I don't know. Let's weigh it. $190 grams, 200 grams. I think this one's fake too, by the way. It's sus for sure. I don't know. There could be a chance that it's real. Let's see if we can... Let's see if I can get this thing out here. I wanted to get a grinder out because I have some more of these that I want to open. But I think it says fake, 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 fake. That's what I think. Okay, so that's that one. All right. Is it real or is it fake? All right, here's the next one. So we can look at logos now. Okay. Logos. We can look at canister size. Pretty close. We can look at labels. And we can look at barcodes. And then we'll look at the scale again. But barcode, what year is that? This would be either 2011 or 21. 5th month, whatever day, right? So this is a 2021 AC adapter. 130 watt. Look at the Dell logo on that. Look at the Dell logo on this. Look at the font. Look at the font on this. Look at all this official stuff with that barcode there, with the QR code, and look at all this official stuff. This one looks real to me. Okay? Now, how much does it weigh? You ready for this? 300 grams. Isn't that crazy? 300 grams. Remember this one? 220. This one? 236. These things feel hollow. Like this one feels like there's nothing at the end at all. It feels like there's nothing here. This one feels like there's some weights in here maybe, but it still feels really light. This thing is a solid brick. The entire thing feels like it's a heat sink or something. I mean, it is crazy. And now it's saying 310, but I probably have a tear weight issue now. No. All right, I got one more, and then we can stop this. Oh, actually, I have something else. So this is another one that I was sus to me. This is actually a 90 watt, so it's a little smaller. You can look at the logos. The logos look about the same on here. The plastic is about the same. Sometimes you have faker plastic too. But this one's actually a 90 watt, and it weighs, this 90 watt weighs almost as much as this 130 watt that's fake. So anyway, I thought that was a pretty funny, ridiculous thing. So I got one more thing I want to show you, and we will call it. But this was a subscriber sent in his laptop, and oh man, it sucked. So he bought a genuine battery because I didn't have any. He went and bought one from another company, and so he said, because I watch your videos, I only buy genuine batteries. So he went and bought a genuine battery. Got it installed, and then the touchpad no longer worked. And so the battery was actually applying pressure to the back of his touchpad. Sent the laptop back to us. I had to play around with it, trying to figure it out what was going on. And so here's a real battery. This is my battery right here. And here's his real battery. Okay? Is it real or is it fake? So here are the logos. The shapes of the battery, actually, we'll just do the shapes first and then we'll do logos closer. But the shapes of the battery look the same. All the pins and the markings are actually the same spot, all that stuff. But there's a sticker on the back that comes off. This whole piece right here is just a sticker that comes off. Dell's is completely covered. Like, you can't get it off. It's completely wrapped all the way around. And then we're going to look at the logos real quick. I just want to show you that. None of this really matters. This is just kind of a fun thing. So there's our Dell logo. Here's our Dell logo. This is a genuine battery. You see the font is a different font. The color is different, obviously. And then the date code. This is what's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my whole existence. We just learned all about date codes, didn't we? Can you all see what's wrong with this? 2019 manufactured in the 6th month. Right? Look at that. This says, you could say this is 2019, but it's actually 2016 or 2026, the 3rd month. So, like, this doesn't even match. Yeah, this one's fake. Yeah, this one's fake. And then here's what the issue was, just so we kind of clear. Let's see. I don't know how they do it. I'm not going to be able to show you in a better way, but the battery's thicker by 10 millimeters. So that's the issue. So the battery's thicker physically, and the mounts are in the same spot. They're centered on the battery. So whenever you try to mount it in there, it actually presses down on the back of the touchpad and then it won't click. So you would have to like put spacers on the mounts in order to kind of lift the battery up, but then it would come out the bottom even more. So he told me just to toss the battery. I said, I'm going to show these people what people are selling on the internet. So fake batteries, no good. Maybe the cells are okay. I was thinking about opening it up and see what cells they are, but they're probably, 10 millimeters. Yeah, so here, we'll get our calipers out. Because I always do this. I always measure the batteries too. So we go, this battery is 10 millimeters. Yeah, you're right. The 10 millimeters is a lot. So the whole thing's 10 millimeters. So this is a 7.0. So 1 millimeter. I said 10. Yeah, thank you. So that's 7.0. And this one is 8.0, 7.9. So, yep. So that's the issue. And so when you install it, it makes it where the touchpad doesn't work anymore because all these mounts are in the middle of the battery. Now, if they would have offset the mount down to still have the same spacing, then it would have worked fine. So, yeah, you can't find a Dell battery for a genuine for the older ones. I know, I understand. I get why you have to buy this because I don't sell these. I can't get them. I actually had a 3-cell battery. So we sold them a 3-cell. We had those. We didn't have the 6-cell. So I did have genuine batteries for this, but it was just the 3-cell version of it, and he was perfectly fine with that, and that's what we ended up installing. But yeah, I mean, Kim, we sell all these batteries, and so anyway, that was kind of an interesting, fun little side thing, I think, right? Is it real or is it fake? Yeah, I'll try to find some more of this stuff. If you like this segment, let me know. You did like it? Okay. I'll find some more stuff over the week, and then we'll just kind of like, I won't tell you which one it is. We'll just have it where it's kind of a, I don't know, we can do votes or something. I don't know. We're just messing around. We're just joshing. You like that? And then I'll have to have somebody sing the jingle for me, because I don't know if I can do it very well. So this was a good one. We have fixed 2 for 2. We looked at some fake stuff. Let's see. You have a laptop with a certain battery. You don't know what number on top of it, your head, but have 2 of them, 7.4, and the other one's 11.4. Yeah, so these machines, some machines will take 3-cell batteries and 4-cell batteries. And then a 7.4 is probably going to be a 4-cell battery, but in a 2-volt configuration. That means it's probably a lower and a smaller machine that runs on like a 8.4 volt power rail is usually what that means. You do counterfeit? Yeah, I know there's a lot of people. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm okay. I'm going to say I'm okay with aftermarket batteries if you have an older machine. I want you to be aware of the risks. Now, in general, I'm not seeing a lot of batteries destroying laptops. I'm seeing the batteries just being unsafe or not lasting a long time. So the batteries could start on fire or something like that because they don't have all that technology in there. So that'd be something I'm concerned with. Now, AC adapters, under no circumstance should you ever buy an aftermarket AC adapter, ever. Ever. Every time someone sends in a laptop that has an aftermarket charger, you're asking for it. I'm telling you. It's the worst thing that you could do, okay? That's why I was showing you the weight of them, right? There's nothing in these things. There's such dirty power coming out, and that one was melted, right? It's like this one was completely melted, you know? It's like, come on. It's crazy, right? And there's like, feels like there's nothing up here. So just don't do it. Yeah, so OEM chargers, like if this is 130 watt USB-C, I sell it for like $90 now, which I used to be able to sell them for like 60 or something like that. So 90, you know, tariffs and all that stuff. But it's OEM, right? You go on Amazon, you can buy like a knockoff for like $30 or something, or I don't know. But is it worth it? Pay the extra money, get a real one, and just be done with it. Don't worry about your laptop getting destroyed, you know? So how can you how can we contact you about issues? Go to our website, partspeople.com. So you can go on my website. I have 20 people on staff here you can call. We have customer service. They've worked here for 20 years. If you call the service department, you'll either get one of my technicians, or I'll answer the phone sometimes. Yeah, so partspeople.com. Not people parts, but parts people. The other way. But yeah, so you can just call. I have a phone number. We're open 10 to 6, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. So your real Dell battery died and you put it in standby. Yeah, so if it sits around for a long time, the battery will go low, but you can usually wake it back up. So it's not really a bad design, but you think about if you shut your lid of your laptop's still in kind of sleep mode. It's keeping the RAM on. So if you shut down your laptop or put it in hibernation, it's the best bet. But you never want to leave your battery in like fully charged state. You want to put it at 60% if you're going to leave it sitting around. So you got fake Samsung batteries once, and it didn't last. They swelled up. They didn't last long and swelled up. Yes, so swelling up is a big issue. That's going to usually from it's staying like overcharged for too long. So oxidation of the cells will cause it to start puffing up. Montgomery is talking about his 5000E, and Inspiron 5000E, if you're not privy to it, that was the laptop to have in 2002, or maybe 2001, I think. And he's still using it, or he still uses it as a terminal. I worked on his Montgomery's laptop like last week, I think. People parts, yeah, I don't have people parts, guys. It's parts people. Parts people. It's fine. I think if you search either way, it will come up. I probably should buy peopleparts.com, so then it gets redirected. But Premise, it's not people parts, buddy. You're just messing with me. Um, parts for people and kidneys, I know. My mom still calls it that. She's like, parts for people. She's like, I'm like, Mom, I've had this business for over 25 years and you always call it parts for people. You have a battery in your computer that died randomly. Yeah, I mean, it happens, but a lot of times what you do is you look at it and you can run diags and it will tell you like how many charge cycles it has, and you'll see that it's starting to get to the end of its life. So you need a kidney. Premise wants me to send him one of my people parts. Oh my goodness. The wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just making it up as I go along, guys. You don't know that, right? Yeah. This is all just kind of like collected information as I went. Nobody really taught me this stuff. So, I mean, the internet does, I guess. I kind of do a lot of research. You've had multiple Samsung devices die, original and cracked screens, because the batteries got swollen. Yes, they did. Now, I don't really have a lot of battery issues with my phones. I'm not one of those people who keep it charged on the desk all day long. So those, like I have a friend of mine who always, he liked having extra batteries. He liked to have phones where he can change the batteries out because he keeps it next to him at his desk plugged in all day long. And so if you do that, you're going to ruin your battery. So don't do that. And I always like to say, treat your laptop like a cell phone. Plug it in when you're not using it, unplug it when you're using it, or just try to cycle the battery as much as you can. Windows does have a battery port thing. I don't know how well it works because you have to actually configure it, or you have to cycle the battery all the way down to 0 multiple times. You bought one knockoff battery and never again. Yeah, it's a waste. Like, buy once, cry once. That rule actually does apply when it comes to buying OEM stuff or real things. So this is all a comedy skit. Yes, it's a comedy skit. Yeah, see? You have some old Dell parts. Can I send them to you for whatever? Yeah, I mean, if you want to send them in, I do recycling. If it's something that we can use or repurpose, we'll definitely repurpose it. But we do have ethical recycling. We are obligated to make sure that everything goes in the proper, disposed of properly. So nothing goes to the landfill. It's all going to proper recyclers. Can you recommend an aftermarket battery source? I don't know. I mean, you're talking about for something older than something I carry. Like if I don't have it on my website, you generally want to buy something that is a brand, if it has a brand. That's all I could say. I don't know. I mean, Batteries Plus was doing some stuff like that, but they started buying some batteries from us, and then I don't know. They're all over the place. So, but like a battery, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You maybe buy a couple of them, a couple different types, and return the one that just seems the best. I mean, return the ones that don't look the best and keep the one that looks the best. That might be the best way of doing it. You should buy domains that are similar in protection for scammers. Yes, I already own like probably 7 or 8 different variations of Parts People, but I do not own People Parts, so I'll probably go pick that up. Do you have a video story of my origin story? So I've talked about it multiple times on the stream over the year, or over these months, I guess. I started this business when I was 21 years old. I worked at a computer store prior to this. I grew up really poor, and so I always had a work ethic to work a lot. Moved out of the house when I was 16, and I didn't even graduate high school. And then I started this business when I was 21. I saved some money. I saved $5,000 up, and I started buying some stuff and selling it on eBay. And I just kind of reinvested, and started out of a bedroom in my house, and then got a little warehouse or a little thing, and then got another warehouse. And so 23, almost 24 years later, I have 20 employees and a 14,000 square foot warehouse, about 700,000 parts in my warehouse, about to hit 1 million orders on my website, I just hit 25,000 repairs. So, but that's all off of $5,000. So it was kind of an interesting journey. My father, my dad, he was a printer for a long time, and then he owned a print shop, and then he sold that to retire, and then didn't know what to do with himself. So he ended up partnering with me early on. So that kind of helped me with business aspect, because I didn't know much about that stuff. So he partnered with me for a few years until he passed, and then now I have my twin brother as my vice president. So it's just me and him, and then my other employees that I've had for about 20 years. I have 3 guys that have been here for 20 years. A couple guys have been here for about 17 years. A few more guys have been there for 15 years. So people don't leave. So that's kind of the in a nutshell, the story there. Let's see. People really love these people parts. Someday people might, oh my gosh, this thing just jumps around when I'm trying to read this chat. Let me use this chat instead. So I'm the exact same age as you are. I was born in 1980, so I'm 40. I just turned 45 last week or 2 weeks ago. Do I ship to Mexico? Yep, so I ship worldwide, 200 countries. Whatever's on my website is where I ship. Cool story, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. If only I had brains. Yes. I can tell you, you don't need to go to high school or you don't need to go to college to learn stuff. If you have passion, you'll learn it, right? You'll put a lot of focus into it. I see people who have a lot of knowledge in certain areas that maybe aren't as useful as they could. I mean, maybe they can put it to work, but so that's anytime I'm trying to learn something, I just learn it. Make a shirt, partspeople.com for Dell and Alienware, no kidneys. Ah, that's a pretty funny one. Wonder if I can bookmark that. You grew up in a print shop. Yeah, Gordon, you grew up in a print shop? Yeah, I grew up in a print shop. Yeah. I was running around. My dad had it. He started his business when he was 21 also, and then so he had it for like 28 years. And so, yeah, I grew up around printing presses, and I was, marrying books and, doing all that, running, working for a penny. Every time I, did the little things, it was like by the piece, and so I'd get paid a penny each or something like that. Oh, identical twins? No, we're fraternal twins. 2 eggs, so we're just, brothers, right? He looks similar to me. I'll probably bring him on the stream at some point or on one of these videos at some point, do a cameo. He's actually the one, if you guys like the intro music or the exit music, he's the one who does that. He's the artistic musician, and he plays like 20-something instruments and can produce all sorts of stuff. So that's what he's really hyper focused in, and so he's the one who did that music. So Y-Rock is his handle on SoundCloud if you want to go check that out. Fraternal twins, yes. Let's see, 56. Gary's 56. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you. Happy birthday. I didn't want to call it out on the stream a couple weeks ago because you know how that is. It gets a little crazy. So which multimeter do I use? So I'm using this multimeter, which is I have the link inside the video description, by the way. So this is the UT161E, and then I also have the D, I think, or the B. It doesn't have as many digits. This one has a USB connection to it, which is nice. And so it connects to the computer. It's not like super accurate, but it doesn't really matter. So again, what you're trying to do, what your goal is on this whole thing is just trying to figure out where things are. You don't need you don't need to measure it down to the millimeter. I know people are thinking, okay, you need to buy a milliohm meter where you can measure exactly what that is, but you don't need to do that. What we're doing works fine. There may be a purpose for it, but yeah, he is a very good musician. Like, you should check it out. It's really good. So I'll put a link in the video description to his SoundCloud so you can check it out. One artist, one tech makes sense. Yeah, it's yin and yang for sure. Yeah, we're different. I'm a musician too. Well, I play music. Let's just say that. I played guitar for 30 years. Also the drummer in a band. So I do that. I'm not the best, but I enjoy it. I compliment the other people. That's kind of the way I like to say it. My brother's the musician, so I let him be the main person, and then I'll be the drummer in the band and be done with it. I don't need the spotlight. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. Uninstall Norton 360. Yes, that is the best decision you can ever make. Did your brother work for your dad as well? So my brother, I had him start after my dad died. Because it's nice to have family that you can trust. So, lucky you wish you were still in your 40s. Your 27-year-old son's name is Nathan. Well, like him, like me. It's not Nathaniel, it's only Nathan also. Mine's not long and shortened. Drummer comes as no surprise. Dun, dun. Yep. And I'm not the best drummer. Like I said, I'm not the best drummer, but I enjoy it. I'll put some cans on and just beat away, and it works out. This last weekend, I have 10 acres of land out of town. That's why I wasn't here. I was out of town for the Sunday live stream, and me, my brother, and the two other guys that have been in our band for like 20 years, 20 something. We started our band in like '99, so we play off and on. It's not like a gig thing, but we jam. And so I have we were in the country, so I didn't have a full kit, and so I had like this really kind of simple thing where it's a cajon that I have a kick drum pedal hooked to. I have one little clacker type of snare, one hi-hat, and then I had a pair of bongos that I was using as the toms. And so I was just, it's a very simple little kit playing out there in the country. Good night. Good night. Well, what time is it? Yeah, I guess we are after 9. Okay. It is pretty late. The greatest Dell musician that's ever lived. Yeah, no, really. Yeah. You're Nathan also. Yo, Nate Dog. Yeah, I know. Losing family is tough. Yeah, it's definitely tough. Oh, okay. Does your twin save laptops? No, but he always comes in here and he lurks over me and he's like puts his camera out trying to capture some sort of like moment that he can post. He's the one who posts on Instagram and Facebook. And he's always trying to catch me doing something that he can post on there. He's like, what are you doing? I don't know. Do you want to know what oscilloscope I have? I don't have a fancy oscilloscope, but I think it's cute. Here's my oscilloscope. Look at my cute little oscilloscope. I rarely use oscilloscopes, but this little guy, look at him. He's cute. And it says it's 100 megahertz. I don't know if it really is, but it does the job for what I'm doing, because I'm just kind of like trying to find a little bit of, something. Did I freeze? Oh no, this camera's about to die, so that means we got to go. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to thank all my mods. I want to thank everyone for hanging out. And we're going to do another one. Thanks for all the follows. Thanks for the subscribes. Thanks for the memberships. And that camera died, so we'll switch to this one. All right. So sorry about that. I want to thank everyone. So we're going to do our Sunday morning stream that will happen next Sunday at 9 a.m. Central Time. And I hope that everyone has a great rest of the week, and I'll see you then.